accident, one thing leads to another. Your injury leads to treatment. Treatment leads to hospital bills. Bills lead to debt. Debt leads to stress. The advocates can help relieve that stress. Having an advocate attorney on your side leads to faster resolutions, fair outcomes, and a peaceful recovery for you. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
What? We know what the people are here to see, Jake, on The Monty Show. I don't know. I'm just warning you right now, I'm having a crisis of privacy.
It's going to be one of those shows, as the comments section likes to say. It
might be, and we do have to talk about privacy. I went deep down the rabbit hole of, holy cow, my iPhone is going to destroy my life. So we'll get into that little discussion today. And yeah, college basketball is dead as we know it. College basketball, I don't even know what to say about the state of college sports right now in this country. It is, and you may think I'm being melodramatic, or I really don't think I am. I think we are looking at end times in college athletics, and I don't know how to McMaga, no M in there. How to make college basketball great again. I don't have a hat or anything to kind of stir the movement, but we need to talk about it. We need to. I think after what we saw last night, and after what we have seen, I don't know what we're watching anymore. And I know, again, I understand this feels like I'm being dramatic, but this whole Charles Bediako thing, it feels like a time continuum shifted, right? Like
vernal equinox.
Yeah, like we shifted through the vernal equinox, and things changed. And Darryn Peterson sitting out this game last night. I am very interested what you guys think about what happened last night. And I'm trying not to be too dramatic. Did you guys see this? This is a contracted employee, and I have done this job that he does. He is a stats guy, and he was sitting courtside, right? And he was caught texting about Darryn Peterson. And essentially what that text message says is Bill Self told him, hey, if you're going to half-ass it, don't play. And Darryn Peterson said, F it, I'm out. And didn't play. And then he was sick. He didn't feel, Monty, he had the flu, Monty. Right? And then without him, Kansas goes on to beat number 1 Arizona at home. But you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, this sucks, dude. This sucks. This sucks in every way, shape, and form. I don't even know how else you would, when you have a coach texting about his star player, and that star player does legitimately not seem like he wants to play against the number 1 team in the country. I just don't see the point. And the text allegedly says, quote, so he's sick and didn't tell anyone in practice. And Bill Self said, don't half-ass it if you're going to play. If not, sit. And Darryn Peterson said, F it, I'm out. But I don't care who you are. I don't care how you read that. It's Kansas versus the number 1 team in the country. And you're trying to tell me that Darryn Peterson is the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't buy it. I do not buy it. And good on you, Bill Self, because Bill Self's a hell of a basketball coach.
Yeah, talk about getting over.
And again, I understand it was at Fog Allen, and I understand that Lawrence is not the easiest place to go play, no matter who's on their team. But not having Darryn Peterson unexpectedly, and then going on and you handled the second half exceptionally well. You won that game in the second half. And I give him all the credit in the world. And I say, F you, Darryn Peterson. I would not play him again.
Yeah, I mean,
screw that guy.
Yeah, I think that, so look, this is the really fascinating part of it. After the game is when I thought, as far as Darryn Peterson was concerned, it just kind of got a little, it just kind of got a little into the gray area. I mean, you've got both coaches commenting on it. You've got the media asking about it.
Of course.
Which is, of course, I totally agree. I would have asked too, of course. I'm not saying this is the media's fault, but you have those questions being asked. You've got a situation where, yeah, it does appear based on what we know about the situation that this was Bill Self versus Buddy, and Bill Self came out on top, and Darryn Peterson, just like every other player, was humbled a little bit last night and was made to realize that it's not just him and everybody else, and that he's not, the final nail in the coffin that's going to decide Kansas's season. And I just think that these guys, this has been my little bit of gripe about like Debanza as an example. There's been other guys we've talked about, but I just think mentality is super important right now in college basketball. If you're a top guy, if you're a top 10 pick in the NBA draft, like, a projected top 10 pick in the NBA draft, let alone the projected number 1 pick in the NBA draft. I mean, you have to go about it the right way. And I just think that when you have text like this, and I know this is a little bit grainy, but this is the best quality we have off of a cell phone. But when you've got this level of text being, as Twitter called it, sniped by a cell phone. I mean, it's not, it's not great. It's not good for the program. And I think that, these guys are solely and wholly focused on their paycheck. And that's the problem.
We've seen this kid's agent allegedly talking to an associate athletic director, and then he sits out the second half with cramps against BYU. But look at all the laundry list of big games Darryn Peterson isn't playing in because he doesn't want to get exposed. But, I think the post-game comments, this is not Bill Self protecting a player.
So you mentioned it being unclear if Darryn would be able to go. Is there a reason he wasn't on the availability report today ahead of game time?
Yeah, because we thought he'd go. Yeah, we thought he'd go. So I thought adrenaline would kick in, and he would go. So, and he was at shoot around today. I mean, he was out there, but just what you could just tell, he didn't feel great. But we were all hopeful that he'd kick in and be ready to go. So you sound like you bet on the game. But no, there was no ploy with that at all.
I have to say, it smacks of it. It smacks of it. There's no question about it that it smacks of it. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but it does have shades of, like, this is the first thing I thought of when I last night, before I realized that he wasn't playing in this game, and I'd kind of plugged myself back into the sports world, sitting down to watch this game. I was like, hold on. Where's he at? And then, of course, I get on the cesspool known as Twitter, and, all is made available to me. So, I don't know, man. I think it's a really weird situation. My question for Darryn just simply would be, it's the number 1 team in the country. It's everything that you would want as a college basketball player. And by the way, Arizona looked really good last night. Like, Arizona played well last night. That was a really good game. They went back and forth. Like, that was a highly, highly entertaining game. But I think it's fascinating that your own head coach is out here running from questions or Arizona's head coach is out here running from questions around Darryn Peterson and the fact that somehow this game is not about him. It's about Arizona and Kansas going back and forth.
10 minutes before the game. Yeah.
How difficult?
Guys, Kansas is a hell of a team. Let's not make this about Darryn Peterson. He didn't play because he was sick. They beat the number 1 team in the country at home tonight. They did a hell of a job, and their coach did a hell of a job. That should be the story.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not the story.
That shouldn't be the story.
Because we've got, let's see, we've got gambling in college basketball. You've got agent guy allegedly talking to associate AD guy. You've got, just all, the Bediako thing. Like there's every reason for the narrative and storyline to be not about the X's and O's, but to be about everything outside and around this game. And that to me is what I would be talking to Darryn Peterson about. I would be telling him, listen, dude, this game should have been Kansas versus Arizona, 2 juggernauts getting after it in the Big 12. That's what it should have been about. But instead, it's about you not playing in the game when you were allegedly healthy enough to play, when your coach says he thought adrenaline would kick in and you'd be available. And now you come out of this game looking like not the number 1 pick, looking like just a guy who's really good, who's a top 5 pick, but maybe I'm just going to take the night off, guys. You guys go and play the best team in the country. It's not that deep for me. Like that's what this looks like. It
just feels like he doesn't like playing basketball. It feels like he's not passionate about playing basketball. Again, I go back to the BYU Kansas game. You're fighting for your life in that game, and he's missing the second half as BYU storms back, right? You then turn around and sit out versus Arizona with some mystery flu. I am not drafting this kid number 1. There is no way. There's no way. There's no way I'm
if you're any type
drafting
of competitor,
him number 1.
If you're any type of competitor, if you're any type of, it's like the old saying, right? Back in the day, like if you're any type of anybody, you want to be there and you want to be a part of that, whatever that is for you. And in this case, it's that game. I mean, honestly, like this is a separate yourself from other teams type game.
And what my question is, why go out and warm up? Why go out and show yourself before he's literally on the floor warming up, getting ready, looking completely fine. And then he just doesn't play. Hey, I'm amazed by it. I am amazed by it, and I don't know how do we continue to make excuses for this cat?
Yeah, I don't think you make excuses for him. I think that what'll happen inevitably, and I'm predicting this only because this is seemingly how it goes in life every single time. But obviously, they're going to get into the tournament, of course, and it's going to get to a point where they get a matchup, and he's going to miss another game in the tournament. Like, guarantee it'll happen. You watch it happen. At some point in the tournament, he'll miss time, he'll miss a half, he'll miss a game, and it will cost them eventually. Eventually, they won't be able to beat the best teams in the country every single time without him. But my concern is that this is happening because of the agent. Because the agent's telling him, hey, dude, like, you don't need to play in this game. Like, you're good. Like, you're going to be the number 1 pick either way. Like, what's the big deal? And that's just a complete wrong way to go about it. It's the wrong mentality to have. I would so much, and I can't even believe that I'm saying this, but I would so much rather have a player like Zion Williamson in college basketball who's limited in a lot of ways, but is explosive and is just dying out there every night for you. Just blowing up his shoe, like trying to end UNC versus a cat that just doesn't care. Not a big deal. Blase, like, and it just drives me nuts because we see this sometimes less in college football just because of the nature of college football and what you have to be to play football. But I just don't understand. Like, you're at Kansas, you're not in LA, dude. I'd almost understand it if you were like in LA or in New York or in Miami. Like, if you were in a city where you had other stuff to do, okay, dude, I get it, dude. You're in Lawrence, brother. You're like, you're there to play basketball. Like, strap it up, get it going, go and hoop. But you can't even do that. To which I say, I agree completely. I'm not drafting you now. After this, I would not draft a kid. And it's not had anything to do with his talent. It's a premise issue alone. Simple as that.
Yeah, I'm not willing to do it. And I think that when you look at the kids that are out there and you understand that this, I think, hasn't he only played like 13 games? I mean, I just don't understand the hype on kids who don't want to play. And he is no different than, like, think about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard misses a ton of games. Amazing when he plays, not really amazing when he doesn't. Right? Like that to me is the issue. And then this situation with Charles Bediako, that's all over with now. And now it's starting to sound like Alabama knew if they lost this case that they were going to lose the games that he played in. And I am here for it. I'm here for it. I think what Alabama did is an absolute disgrace. And I have no sympathy for Alabama. You're playing a kid that was on a two-way NBA contract and should never have been in a college basketball game after that.
Mm-hmm.
And now a judge has ruled him ineligible. And there is talk that the NCAA is going to, while not stripping those wins, make them invisible so that when it comes tournament time, the games that Bediako played in will have no weight on their seeding in the tournament. And I say amen to that.
That's how it should be. It's how it should be. I mean, you took a flyer on a kid, you tried to get an advantage, you tried to game the system, and I do think there is a price to pay for that. And I think that it's just, I don't know. I guess I feel like the theme in college basketball right now is there's a right way to do things, right? There are things that you know that you can do that are clear and proper and correct, and everyone's totally good with it. And then there's stuff like Charles Bediako, Darryn Peterson, right? There's these different topics where it's like, dude, like, what are you guys doing? What do you mean you brought a G League player back into your program at the college level? Like, even if that was allowed on premise alone, I wouldn't be doing it. It just sends a complete wrong message, dude. It's not the right thing to do, but yet here they are doing it. And so it's like at some point there has to be a price to pay. And I don't know if somehow Alabama was surprised by this, if Nate Oates just woke up one day and was like, yeah, dude, who cares? We're just going to take a risk and it doesn't matter. Like, again, blasé. Like, what's the worst they're going to do? Strip us of the losses or wins or whatever? Like that's how I feel like these guys go about it. And I just don't understand, like, where is like the pride in the work that you do? Where is any sense of like, yeah, like, not only did I accomplish this, but I did it the right way? Like, that's just not alive and well right now.
Yeah, at least Darryn Peterson is eligible. Right? At least he's a college basketball player. I think and this is why I ask, like, how do we fix college basketball? Because college football, I just think it's bigger than any of these crises that it's facing. College basketball is not. College basketball, I think, is losing fans in droves. This Bediako thing is a big deal. Right? You remember Charles Bediako played on a two-way contract, played in the G League, comes back to Alabama, gets an injunction, a temporary restraining order so that he can compete. And he has now played in several games and he's averaging like 10 points and 6 rebounds. And now a judge just said, nah, bro, you're out. And I say, you're an absolute embarrassment and a disgrace. And if you're Nate Oates and you're allowing Bediako to play, it just tells me who you are. It tells me what your morals are, what your ethics are. And I hope that Alabama misses the tournament. They won't. They're 16-7. They probably won't.
Yeah.
But I hope they miss the tournament. I hope they don't ever win another game in the history of their. It's too much. My point is, may Charles Bediako airball every free throw he puts up from here to 4. And if you are, where did I see JaVale McGee dunking on people in
overseas,
the Australian League,
NBL,
and so you're just too good to go play in Australia? You're too good to go play in Europe? There's hundreds of teams globally.
But I think the motivation, is solely fixed on money. That's it.
But you can't tell me that Charles Bediako is getting NIL money.
Well, I don't know, dude. Why would he come back then?
I don't believe for a second. Alabama was probably paying him. But you can't tell me in any way, shape, or form that he's getting like, all right, Tuscaloosa Ford. Right? Like,
I just
here's our guy, Charles Bediako, for Tuscaloosa KY Jelly.
Yeah. I mean, I have a hard time believing that as well. But I just can't understand. Like, if you're Charles Bediako and you were like, all right, should I go back to college or stay in the G League? What's the only motivation? Because you can't even tell me that that's good for your career. Now you're forever known as the guy that went back to college, dude. And you think that's a good thing? Like, yeah, I agree. Like, go overseas. Like, it's not, I don't know why for some guys it's such a stigma or such a, just a negative, a blight on your life, if you will, that maybe you're not good enough to play in the NBA, but you're certainly good enough to play pro somewhere. Like, again,
I think guys have maturity issues. This Bediako thing, Darryn Peterson, they're getting terrible advice, and they have maturity issues.
Yeah,
that's it. This is no different than Damon Williams at Washington. This is no different than Trinidad Chambliss. This is no different than any of these situations where these kids are getting terrible advice. They're getting advice from adults who see them as dollar signs. That's how it appears to me. I mean, you have a cat in Darryn Peterson whose representative is talking to an associate athletic director, who then the associate athletic director goes and talks to Bill Self, and then Darryn Peterson doesn't play the second half against BYU.
How?
Isn't playing in overtime of Kansas games. Does not play against at Fog Allen. The number one team in the country, Arizona's in town, and Darryn Peterson can't figure out how to drink Gatorade and get that Pedialyte rectally so that he can play. Right? He hasn't earned the logo on the side of the helmet. Right? Like that's what this is. And again, I think, and I only half jokingly say it, but how do we make college basketball great again? Right? Like, we're going to expand the tournament to 738 teams.
Who the fuck is that guy?
How do we
why don't we just start throwing
basketball?
NBL teams into the tournament, dude? Why not just go get some teams from the Chinese basketball league over here, like the Korean league or the European league? Like, come on, dude. Like, anybody's welcome.
Yeah, any team that's not in the Epstein files, you're welcome to play in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. Like, what? It just is what it is, dude.
You are what you are.
You have to make it. You have to make it a rule. If you go to the NBA, excuse me, if you go to the NBA and you sign a contract, you're done in college.
Yeah, if you're on paper in the NBA, the G League, anything professional, you're done.
The minute you sign a contract, you're done.
That's it. Don't care what kind of contract it is. You as soon as you go pro, your eligibility is done with. It's forever dead.
It's over.
And I think that it's. I don't know. Sometimes like last night I was watching this Kansas game, and I'm sitting there thinking about, like, legitimately what was the play for Charles Bediako, dude? And because I hearken back to LaMelo Ball's story of, hey, like, you were good, but at that time you were not regarded as an NBA talent because you were too young, you were too small. Like, your body wasn't ready. Everybody agreed on that. Even LaMelo agreed on that. Like, I remember them talking about it. And so what did he do? He went overseas to places that no one's ever really heard of or known about.
People have heard of Lithuania.
Yeah, nobody. I don't think anybody gives a damn or knows anything about the Lithuanian basketball league. I'm sorry. Like they may play it, but I don't think anyone is. Here you go. I don't think anyone has positions on over-unders in the Lithuanian basketball league. Okay,
I'm gonna say they do.
Let's put it that way. So I look back at it and I say, dude, like if LaMelo Ball can go all over the world, play in crappy arenas and crappy gyms and not have any of the accoutrements and benefits of pro players and all
dominate
of that,
the Australian League,
then go to the Australian League, dominate there. I just feel like these kids it's not even maturity, but it's entitlement. You feel entitled to money because you've always made it in high school and in college. And that's where I feel like the system lets these kids down. Hey, I just went pro, but maybe I'm not good enough to be a no doubt about it NBA guy. Well, now life is smacking you in the face. Now you're getting a reality check that, yeah, it's not good enough just to be 7 feet tall anymore. And that means that you're the best player on your team. Now you actually have to play defense and you actually have to know your role and execute your role inside of the offense, dude. It's not the game is bigger than you. And that'd be my message to guys like Bediako and Darryn Peterson. And dude, if I was Darryn Peterson's dad or a friend or someone giving him advice, I would have called him last night after that game. And I said, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? How is this okay? This is how you represent your program. This is who do you, I literally would have said, who do you think you are, dude? You're not anybody right now. You might be a good college basketball player. That doesn't mean the NBA is guaranteed. Does this guy think that it's just guaranteed that he's going to play in the league 15 years? That's not how it works.
But how do you get Mariah Mills if you don't,
Yeah. I mean, how do you get Mariah Mills level talent if you're not out here, busting your Kyries on the floor and dunking all over fools,
busting
dude?
your Kyries.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's really a legitimate question.
The biggest load that we've seen.
Bryce Martin, what do you mean, Jake? I send texts like that all the time to my girl during an argument. Can you believe they caught a stat guy who probably is never going to be a stat? His career as a stat guy lasted just as long as Charles Bediako's time at Alabama this year. But they caught, see, that was a joke. Okay. The stat guy's dead. It's over for stat buddy.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe he needs to go be a stat buddy in the Australian League. Maybe that's how he can get paid now.
Randy Riding, they don't have Gatorade in Kansas. That stuff brought MJ back from the dead to beat the Jazz.
Yeah, it did. But I agree with Bill. I can't believe it, dude. Darryn Peterson has put me in a place to agree with that slimy scheming, cheater of a head coach, Bill Self. You guys remember who Bill Self is, right? You remember all the recruiting drama and all the rule breaking,
all the surgery and the health issues. And
yes. You guys remember all that, right? So now I've been put in a place as a commentator on college sports where I have to say, good on you, Bill Self.
You're an authority.
An authority on sports on this here channel.
On the Marty program.
Dude, I have to sit here and be like, yeah, dude, I'm on team Bill Self on this one, dude. Bill Self said, no, here's the bird. You didn't want to work hard and you didn't want to do your damn job. So you're not playing tonight. How about that? And then you went out and beat Arizona. It's the ultimate. No, this is my team, not your team. And you're getting sit down and you can hold yourself out or I can sit you down, whatever you like. But I'm not only going to go win the game, I'm then going to burn you with the media after the game. So I didn't have any issue with him not protecting his players when Darryn, the best player on the roster, thinks he's above it. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is brutal. And yeah, Jay Chapman, Arizona, Kansas was a great game.
Hell of a game.
It was a great game. And it's really disappointing. The awkward guy says things just haven't been the same since Harambe died.
Oh, hang on. Okay.
You know, I mean, ever since then, the world's gone to the toilet. I don't think I disagree at all. That's right. The world's gone to the toilet. You know, I honestly don't know how you fix it. Unfortunately, Minty, I don't think the NCAA has a power over this for G League to go to college. Can't wait for UFL players to go back to college. I think football's different. That's why you don't see it in football.
Yeah.
Football is a man's game. This would never happen in football.
Nope.
It would never happen in football.
The only way I could ever see it happening would be with kickers. That'd be the only position I could see it at. Anybody else who is, you know, any type of position player, you're never going to see them come back to college. Number one, you know, I think for a lot of college football players, being able to say that you just made it to the NFL is a massive accomplishment. Getting drafted by, I don't care what round you got drafted, just the fact that you got drafted is an incredible life achievement for any football player to ever realize the heights of that, of the game at that level. And so I just think it's just different. And I think that the accessibility to the game is really where a lot of these problems are born, because basketball is a game that is played on the street, dude. Go down to your park and play. Like, that's not how football is played, dude. Like, you might be able to play flag football at the park, but like legitimate football, you're not doing that. And I think that it's just a culture thing. That's why, like, all this, you know, all the fun that we've had with the Colorado coaches and Sumrall and these guys that give all these crazy speeches and do all this scheming stuff in tunnels with players. Like, I don't have a problem with it, because at least in college football, like, they're sending the right message. Like, they're at least trying to make these kids go in the right direction. And yeah, sometimes they have a funny way of doing it, but at least the culture is correct. At least, like, everyone, just as an example, everyone making a fuss about Dion's, you know, apparel policy in the weight room. Like the whole point of that is to make these kids more disciplined and to make them appreciate what they have. Like, you're in Nike school. Like, how about we all get on the same page? And when I say all of us, I mean the staff and the players. We're all going to wear the same shoes, all going to wear the same socks, all going to wear the same everything.
You can't wear gear from your former school.
Yeah, like, we're not doing that, dude. And I feel like some of these, because these kids in college basketball can bounce around so much and they're one and dones, and like, they're just on. It's just because, think about it, they get to high school, they got to play all 4 years in high school. And then they get to college and it's like, dude, once I graduate high school, I'm one season from NBA money. So guys like Darryn Peterson are just like, yeah, dude, bro, everyone's saying I'm a top draft pick. Why do I need to play against Arizona? To which I say, you don't get it, dude. And I'm not drafting you.
But I agree with Brandon here. Like, I think this is part of the reason the NBA sucks now, because this mentality has bled over into the NBA. And again, this is going to sound like me being a red ass, but I don't enjoy the NBA with these 20-somethings who aren't passionate about anything but a paycheck.
Yeah.
And I look at this brawl last night.
Dude.
This brawl last night in the NBA, my God. Okay, good to see Isaiah Stewart, who was a minus 12 last night, run onto the floor from the bench. So his season's over, which I'm here for it.
Bro is minus 12 in the stat sheet, but plus 10 in the fight sheet.
Right? Like, this is what basketball's become. And I actually think this was good. This was good for the NBA last night. This put the NBA front and center, as ugly as a brawl might have been. Again, who knew that the Pistons were involved in a fracas like this? Ridiculous. But you look at the just lack of composure and humanity in basketball right now, and the lack of respect for your fellow competitor. You look at none of these guys care about anything but a paycheck.
Yeah.
And that Isaiah Stewart still plays in the NBA is an embarrassment, because this is not his first foray. But this is what basketball's become.
So you think they should ban him from the league?
Yeah, I think he should no longer. How many times is he going to throw a punch and endanger people?
Yeah.
Like at what point do we stop allowing? It's not boxing, right? When's Jake Paul getting in the ring? Oh, that's right. He's sobbing over his girlfriend at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, at what point do we stop trying to wonder if Darryn Peterson plays? I hope nobody ever drafts him, because he hasn't earned it. He doesn't deserve an NBA contract, in my opinion. He doesn't deserve to be the number one pick.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're crazy if you think that Darryn Peterson, who is clearly, in my opinion, dodging big games and big moments, and I'm a vocal critic of AJ Debance as the number one pick in the NBA draft. He's not good enough. AJ Debance needs to come back to BYU next year. And I would still take him over Darryn Peterson, because at least AJ Debance has a want to. Mm-hmm. He seems to have a motor and a desire. Darryn Peterson does not.
Yeah, I would say that AJ's struggles are much more of just finding his flow in the game. You know, finding the balance between running the set versus doing what he does like that. And I have no problem with that. I think that I agree. He shouldn't be number one overall. Like, ideally he would stay at BYU. That's not going to happen. He's going to go to the league, but you know, at least with AJ, it's a basketball conversation. It's a, hey, you know, this is how you do this, AJ. Let us develop you and show you and take your game to the next level. And that, at least there, I can say, okay, cool, we can develop this kid. It might take 2 seasons, but we can develop him. You know, but with Darryn, I've never been a believer that you can take a guy who doesn't have. I mean, this is not unique to basketball too, because I think this is a broader conversation, and Darryn is just kind of the pawn in it. But like, it's hard to make people do things the right way or do it, you know, operate at a certain level when they just don't want to do that. Like, that's the hardest thing in life to do, in my opinion, is to get someone to do something that they either don't want to do or maybe operate at a certain intensity level that they're just not wired to operate at. And I can't believe, like, it really speaks to the kid's talent. Like, he's that good that he doesn't feel like he has to play in big games. Like, that's crazy.
And sadly, he is that good.
Yeah.
He is that good. If we're being real about it. If I'm Adam Silver, I am ducking the media during the All-Star break. Tanking, fighting, expansion, going to be not fun.
Well,
yeah, we're going to talk Jazz tanking here in a while.
The league is the Jazz is its own conversation. I don't have nice things to say about the Jazz, but I think that the league is look, the league is suffering from LeBron not retiring yet. And I hate saying that about Bron, but it is true in my opinion. I think that like, he needs to move on so that the Lakers can get back to being good. And I understand that he's going to go back to Cleveland and he's going to finish his career there. And I have no problem with that, honestly. The guy has earned that. You've been in the league 20-something seasons. You've been the face of the league for basically every single season you've been in the league. Like, go and finish your career the way you want to, dude. But I am a little sick and tired of not having Lakers Celtics on Christmas Day and have it mean something. I'm a little tired of not having, you know, just you know, good storylines, good conversations from the league. Like, how do we not have, like, how is the best team in the league, with all due respect to Oklahoma City, because I think they've done a phenomenal job building that team. It's no shade to them. But how is it that Oklahoma City is the best team in the league right now? Like, how did we get to this place? How are we allowing the league to dilute into this? Like, when are the Knicks going to get over the top? When are the Miami Heat going to be back? Like, those are the questions that I think the league has to answer. You know, that's what the league needs, is those bigger market teams to get back going again.
Yeah, I think, God, the NBA issues, I don't even know where to begin. I think the Lakers, I watch pretty much every Laker game. LeBron's a huge problem for the Lakers. The bigger issue is they can't stay healthy, right? Like LeBron, the salary cap is actually in good shape for the Lakers. Like you look at their numbers, you look at the way Luka's actually playing very well, but Austin Reeves does not play games recently. Like the guy's been hurt for, I think, the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
I think Austin Reeves has been out for 7 years. And you know, he is I'm bitter. The Lakers should be much better. Right? Like, and LeBron being day to day, which I guess we all are as the joke goes, but LeBron being listed as day to day, like Anthony Davis sitting out the rest of the year. You just look at the volume of injuries, the Jason Tatum in Boston. Pick your injured guy.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are trying to get back as soon as they can. They're all multi-millionaires. And there is no explanation for it, right? How is Oklahoma City the best team in the league? Well, because they were terrible for a decade. That's how they're the best team in the league. Look at all the draft picks. Look at their ability to go and get guys because they had all those draft picks because they were terrible. The difference with OKC and the Utah Jazz, the Jazz are terrible at making basketball teams, and OKC is not. That's what it comes down to, right? So we can sit here and talk about, hey, the NBA is broken. Why is the NBA broken? Because NBA players are overpaid and they don't want to play games.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that to me. Kawhi Leonard, whoever you want to point to, all these dudes that miss a ton of games, they're not dying to get back on the floor.
Darius Garland.
They're not doing what LeBron did and spent $5 million a year on his body to make sure he played every game possible. So you can rip LeBron. LeBron's trying to play every game possible. Oh, he's gravy training. Well, he's hanging on because he loves playing basketball. And he makes a really good bit of cash to do that. So I would hang on to.
I'd be hanging on for 50 million plus a year as well.
I'm not here for the young 20-year-old guy who doesn't want to play every game in the NBA because it's hard. Go work at Chick-fil-A. You ever breaded chicken breast at Chick-fil-A? Yeah, it sucks. Right? You want to go labor and be on a road crew on a freeway in Los Angeles? That sucks.
In the middle of summer? Yeah, that
right?
sucks.
You're not working for a living. You play basketball. It's not that difficult. And I just think that whether it's this gambling nonsense, you look at these guys that these young kids that are caught up in these gambling things, you're not smart. You're not mature. You don't surround yourself with the best people because you think you know it all. Because everybody's told you your entire life, you know it all, dude. And I hate it. I hate everything about it.
Yeah, it's the arrogance. It's just a thing where, again, entitlement. That's what it is. It's I'm getting paid all this money. Why do I need to work?
And the problem with this, Brandon, is the NBA needs an NFL type rule that prevents the kids from going pro till they're done. Then we wind up in court. What the NBA needs is to let the players play, and when they're not good enough, they're done. Go play in Europe. Go play somewhere else. Go play in the G League and be invisible because the G League sucks. Nobody watches. Right? Go play, but you're not going back to college. You signed an NBA contract. You signed a professional contract in the G League or the NBA. You're not going back to college.
Yeah, I guess it just surprises me on some level that dudes just don't have like pride in their reputation and their work right now. Like how do you and maybe it's because we're not them and we don't make that kind of money and we didn't I get it that for basketball players, you've been playing this game since you were like 7 years old and it's been your whole life. It's basically been, when am I playing and what else do I have to do to keep playing? your entire life. And so on some level, I get that, but like, I guess it's hard for me to relate to the concept that, hey, you got to the NBA, you got your contract, so now you're just chilling. Now you just think that now's the time to, to not double down, to just like, yeah, I'm going to show up. I'm going to roll up in my Urus, and I'm going to have my Gucci loafers on, and I'm just going to hoop a little bit, and that's it. Like, I don't know why guys choose to go down that path. Why not, try to be the best that you can? And the answer to that inevitably is that that's what separates great players in the league from average ass players. And I agree that average ass player is still making like $30 million, which is insane.
Yep. That's exactly right. And I just, it's crazy to me.
And
it
I
is
will
what
say,
it is,
I
man.
will say too, one more thing. You don't see this problem in baseball too much because of the farm system and because of what dudes have to go through to get to the big leagues. Like, that's and I think that's why culturally the guys, like, if you look at baseball, the guys who are lazy like that or don't run hard, or like it's one of the cardinal sins in baseball, not running hard on a ground out. Like, you're going to get thrown out. You ground it out to shortstop, but you're still going to run hard because that's a culture. Guys who don't run hard typically get bounced unless you're hitting 50 bombs a year and like you're that guy. Like, so I just think there's not enough. I guess what we're saying is it's too easy to get to the league.
LeBron absorbs too much of the salary cap that it poisons the Lakers. Yeah, I totally disagree with that. I think the you're gonna make it over there, Jake? You all right there, buddy? You want to go? You need to take you want to go take a nap real quick? A little pookie. Anyway, Jake hates when I do that. LeBron's not the issue with the Lakers. Luka doesn't play the other night. And didn't he almost have a triple-double against OKC? It was like 22, 10, and 6 or something like that. He's not the issue. Does he make, what is he making, $52 million? Sure. But the issue is Luka didn't play. If Luka plays, they beat OKC, who also didn't have SGA. So I don't think LeBron, the issue isn't LeBron's making too much money. The issue is that LeBron's not the same player he was. So OKC's the best team in the league because they tanked for 5 years. Don't hate the Jazz, hate the system the NBA created. No, the Jazz are straight up not playing guys in the fourth quarter. And Will Hardy's like, yeah, no, never thought about putting them back in. It's embarrassing. But it's the Jazz. So would you expect them to be something other than embarrassing?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Jazz and any other team that, that, like, my problem is you made a deadline deal to bring in talent. Now that talent's performing for you and you're still sitting them. Like it's disrespectful to the league, dude.
Bron is hanging on because he hasn't done anything else his whole life. It's who he is as a person. It's been his everything since he was 10. He's got a massive amount of business interests. I don't think he will be bored. I think he wants to win another championship. I think that's what LeBron is chasing. I don't necessarily agree that it's because this is his whole life. I think he wants another ring, but I could be wrong. One good player in the NBA changes your franchise. One player in the NHL, NFL, or MLB isn't going to help much. See the show and Trout with the Angels. Well, I think in Major League Baseball, it's the owner's willingness to spend money. You have to spend. I'm a Cub fan, bro. We don't have, we don't have it. Big Daddy Magic, hey, play it today. I'm on official business. Yeah. So Big Daddy Magic thought it'd be cool to ask me where to buy weed in Seattle. So I'm coming to Seattle. The weed better be good. Like, what are you doing in Seattle? Anyway.
Yeah. So what? Now you're a Seahawks fan?
I have no idea.
Let me guess. Next year, you're going to ask Monty for a 3X Seahawks shirt. Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah. And I regret buying Big Daddy Magic this gift. In all seriousness, I am not, I have blocked, and I'm not even ashamed to say it. If you ask me for money, I'm going to block you. I'm over it now. Like, I've got so many people like being like, hey, can I get a gift card for, no. And then like one dude in particular, who I'm not going to name by name, is like, hey, I'll take an Amazon gift card. I can buy groceries with that. I'm like, dude, like, I've never even heard of you. Right? Like this was the argument on the show. About should we or shouldn't we, or.
And then everyone vilified me for saying we shouldn't.
It was a huge mistake. And I've also got Big Daddy Magic being like, oh, hey, can you track that package for me? No, I'm not tracking your package for you. No, I'm not tracking your package for you.
What like, package? Like what? The shirt?
The shirt that I got him.
Dude, it's a shirt. It'll show up, dude.
Yeah.
It ain't a big deal.
Well, no, he was saying he's out of town and he wants to make sure that if it shows up, his neighbor gets it. No, sorry, dude. I'm not a fucking mail service. I'm not a mail service, man. Like this is no good deed goes unpunished. This is the issue. Why are you
so pissed about this?
Because it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. And we talked about this, I'm pretty sure, when we were making a decision if we were going to buy him a gift. It drives me crazy that the maggots come out of the woodwork when you try to do something nice for somebody.
Yeah, do not do something nice for one person and all of a sudden you got to feed the whole family.
Yeah, I am not going to. This is the cat who showed up at my front door in Salt Lake City and was like, oh, I love your show, man. Yeah, cool. Get the fuck out of here. Like, that's cool. Thanks for watching.
That's one thing that I've never understood about, like obviously fan of the show, but you thought it was a good idea to show up to your front door? Like what? Instagram DM wasn't good enough? You had to knock on dude's door? Like, I don't know, man.
Nope.
I don't think that people have, like, I'm not even saying that BDM, like it has any, like, doesn't mean well, or like, I'm sure he does, but the issue isn't even really with BDM himself. It's more of like, hey, you do right for one person, and then all of a sudden you got like 20 people beating down your door, and in some cases that's literal, not figuratively. And I just think I don't know. It just makes it so that you can't do right by people. The only time I hand stuff out is food to homeless people. If I go out to a nice dinner or something and I have leftover food that I can take, I'll typically take it if I know that I can give it to a homeless person. Because food is, hey, you're going to eat that or it's going to go bad. It's not money. You can't get drugs with it. You can't get liquor with it. Like, it's just a very straightforward proposition. So I just
don't feed the pigeons. It's unfortunate, but that's where I'm at. Like, you feed the pigeons, more pigeons show up.
Yeah.
That's just the way the world works. Yeah, exactly right, dude. Don't feed the strays, Monty. That's exactly right.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, like, I don't feel like it's wrong to say that we just can't do that. That's just not part of what we can and can't do. Like, we can do things for the advocates, like we can raise money to help feed people, but we're not doing birthday gifts for people, dude. We're not like, again, the Amazon gift card thing is not us picking somebody. Typically that adjudicates itself in the comments section based on the competition. And that's just an incentive to donate money to help feed people. Like, that's different. And I think that I don't want people to feel like, oh, well, you guys are unwilling to help people. No, that's not true, dude. No. Like, we help a lot of people, actually. It's just that we're not going to say this one-off person is getting something because they've contributed a lot of videos. Like, do you understand? And I'm more than happy to play this card. Like, it's a privilege for you to play your videos on the show. Like, you get that, right? Like not that I have any issue with BDM, not making it personal with him, but just from a philosophical standpoint. And this is what I said that day. It's a privilege for you to get your videos played on the show, like, damn near every day, certainly weekly. Not everybody gets that right. Like, James hasn't been able to break through on playing videos, gets his comments read all the time, but hasn't been able to break through on the videos. So just remember what you have, Darryn Peterson. Just remember what you have and how far you've come. And by the way, I appreciate, BDM, that you listen so much. I do. It helps us. I appreciate that you listen and you contribute, dude. Thank you. But
Yeah.
no, we're not doing one-off birthday gifts anymore.
No, never going to happen again. Never going to happen again. The minute you decide to pet a stray, you have a pet for life. Truer words have never been spoken. That's exactly right. And and I feel bad about it. And I wasn't going to bring it up. And then Big Daddy Magic sends me a note this morning saying, I'm in Seattle today. The weed better be great.
But here's my question. Why are you in
Why
Seattle?
are you in Seattle?
Dude? Why
what are you doing
there?
here?
Like, you're not a Seahawks fan. Like, I guess I just don't understand. That's what I would love an answer to. What? I feel like BDM came to Seattle because he thought he was going to meet you again and to go to the parade and smoke weed.
I don't know about all that. Don't even put that out into
well,
the
no,
ethos.
I'm not saying it has anything to do with you. I'm saying that that's what he had thought, or that it seems like he thought that there was a chance at that.
Yeah, well, I hope not. The real awkward guy. Hey, Monty, for my birthday, can you say I'm your favorite San Antonian who lives in Austin? And my birthday is until August. Exactly right.
I mean, listen, we can start a fans only page for you guys if you guys want to pay us to say things for you. I mean, we can sell ourselves out like that if you would. And
what is that video service where you can pay somebody to make you a video? I can't
remember the name of it.
Cameo.
Yeah, we can start a Cameo. You know, you guys want to pay us a certain amount of money to get shout outs? Okay, fine, dude. That's cool. We can do that.
You know,
but
do people still use Cameo? Is Cameo still a thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, he does. Big Daddy Magic. It's not personal with Big Daddy Magic. Whatever his afflictions are.
Okay, how much would you guys pay for a Cameo account from us? Would you pay $10 a hit?
Do we have a Cameo account or something?
I don't know. We'd have. I didn't make it. If we do,
I thought we did. I could be wrong. But what do I know?
Okay, bro. Yes, the Rizzler is on there.
What's the Rizzler?
What the hell is the Rizzler, dude?
I've never heard of the Rizzler.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know who you're talking to.
I thought we made a Cameo. Yeah, well, it's still an official site.
Hey, listen, listen in the comment section. I'm down. We can make a Cameo and do that. That's not hard for us to do. Certainly, we could do that. I mean, if you got requests and you want to say happy birthday to someone, I'm down. But you're gonna have to pay for that. Like, if I'm going out of the way, there's got to be, you know, it's got to what, $10-20 a pop at least, right?
I would think.
You know.
I don't know. I have no idea. Jesus, I have no idea if this is. What are we doing? This is probably going to create a thing.
Well, hello, James. Nice of you to actually show up, dude.
Oh.
I like the video comps. Many of the other videos were funny. I agree. BDM's videos are funny. There's a lot of times where I laugh and I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But that unto itself is a gift to BDM. The fact that his videos make the show is a gift.
Yeah, we have a Cameo.
Oh, we do?
Oh, wow. Yeah, we have a Cameo.
Are there requests?
There are 3 requests from 2.5 years ago.
Really?
Oh, man. They're expired, so I can't see them anymore, apparently.
Wow. I didn't know we had a Cameo. That's cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's just the Monty Show. The Monty Show is
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. The Monty Show on Cameo.
Yeah, listen, dude. Yeah.
You guys want to send me a request? Hey, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Happy to do it. Happy to do it. If you guys want to, you guys, I'm on Cameo. Go ahead and knock it out. Rizier wrestles in AEW wrestling. What is AEW? I've never heard of AEW. Look it up. It's great. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, man. Sure. Okay.
We'll
get right on that.
It's one thing for you to choose to appreciate one of us at your discretion, but it's another for us to ask for handouts. No trashing BDM, just to be clear. Just don't copy him. Yeah. I think it's a Big Daddy Magic was a one-time thing. that I will never do again because it creates. I just do things. Timothy, you're making me feel bad. Well, but even with like Big Daddy Magic, why beg? Why are you begging? You don't need the money. You just got on an airplane and flew to Seattle for whatever reason today. Right? Why not buy your own? Why not take I think he said he spent $100. Okay, if you spent $100 on an airplane trip, why not buy yourself a Buffalo Bills sweatshirt?
Because he wants it. Because I know why. Because it's not about the money. He wants it to be from you because it means more to him.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Well, I ain't tracking your mail, dude. That's all on you.
Hey, look here, man.
Like I'm somehow now I'm responsible to track your mail.
Draw, dude.
Yeah, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I am not at anybody's beck and call. Like I'm not. I have no idea if it's delivered or was delivered or won't get delivered. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I did we raised the money on the show. We bought the thing. Like
the victory has already been won.
Can't wait to get that Monty custom video in 2029. There you go, dude.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious to me that we have a cameo. I really had no idea. So that's funny that we.
I remember when we were back at the Maverick Center. I remember we had done that.
Yeah.
I remember we had done that. So, that I do remember, but I guess it's a lot. There's a lot of sports figures on it. Like, are you really paying for somebody to send you a custom video?
Yes.
This is such a thing.
Dude, it's not Cameo's not as big as it used to be, but that is the whole concept of OnlyFans. That's the whole concept. Hey, I'm paying for one-off videos.
What? So Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, you have to pay him $6,500 for a video.
Cameo. Yeah.
Somebody named Brian Baumgartner, who was an actor on The Office, $3,750.
Like $3,700?
Yes, $3,750. Jesse Metcalf, who's an actor from Desperate Housewives, $9,750. Christina Millian, $8,000. Dean Norris, oh yeah, the actor from Breaking Bad, $6,000.
Okay, so we can definitely be asking for $100 a pop.
Brett Favre,
yeah, the thumb,
$2,858. Somebody named AJ and Big Justice, we bring the boom, $5,000. LeVar Ball, $1,000. Like, are people really paying this? Gabby Douglas, Olympic gymnast, $6,500. Ice-T, rapper and Law and Order actor, $5,000. Like, who's paying this?
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Who is paying this? Martin Covey?
Hey, Marty.
$2,100. Bo Jackson, $5,000. This is wild to me. Jesse Palmer, The Bachelor, $28,572. That's great. Oh, the Rizzler. The Rizzler will do a video for you for $20,000. You're out of your mind. Somebody named Jax Taylor from Vanderpump Rules.
Okay.
$2,000. Like, I don't even know who these. I want to find somebody I know. David Arquette, actor, $5,000. Mick Foley, WWE legend, $999. You guys are out of your mind. That there is just no way. Kanye West, that's not Kanye.
Let me guess, $800 million.
$250. Sorry. That's not Kanye West. Like, I just don't understand why would Shooter McGavin $5,000. That isn't crazy.
Man,
That's
dude.
crazy to me. That you guys are willing to pay this kind, and I don't even know. Maybe I'm just not as smart as I thought. This is somebody named Almost Andy Reid.
Yeah, but
The
James,
Boros twins.
James, brother, we've talked about this already. I want to be able to buy Monty Show merch. A black polo with a logo would look great. But here's the problem, dude. You can't rock the Monty Show black polo logo shirt in the rectory. And you spend so much time in there that, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So,
Chris Hansen to Catch a Predator. Chris Hansen to Catch a Predator. $5,000.
Is that for his services to catch a predator or for his cameo?
I would love Bruce Buffer, the UFC Octagon announcer, $10,000.
Okay, that would be cool to get one from Bruce, though. That would be cool.
You're crazy. Anybody doing this, you're wasting your money on this. Are we this obsessed with famous people? Are we this obsessed with famous people? Because this, you will never, ever. There is no, you got to be kidding me. How much? Perez Hilton, $500.
Perez?
Right? Like the social media star. Yeah, you guys are crazy for this. There is just Ralph Macchio, who's the Karate Kid, $1,000. Like,
Okay, that's enough. Stop, please.
I have to assume people are paying this, right? I've never done this. Have you ever done this?
Neither. Nah. Nope. Well, like I said, it used to be big back in pandemic times. Cameo was massive during the pandemic. So I think it's fallen off a little bit post-pandemic.
Antonio Brown, who's made $947,000 on Cameo. $3,000 to have wacky ass Antonio Brown send you a video.
Bro, you did not just say that he made $900,000.
Bro,
dude.
Kevin Wu from K-pop, $1 million in earnings at $10,000 a video. Riff Raff, who is a professional poet, has made $1.3 million on Cameo. This is amazing to me.
So anyway, I mean, find us on Cameo. Make some requests. I mean, can we set our price? Are you logged into the account?
Yeah.
What should we set the price at?
No idea.
$100 a pop?
Gosh. Okay. I mean, sure. I don't even know what would you even, this is crazy to me. Dave Wanstedt has made money. You jerk wagons. You paid Wani the mustache to send you a video.
I want more.
That's crazy to me. I have no idea what our minimum price would be. Yeah, I don't know.
Would you guys, in the comments section, pay us to do cameos for you?
And Rob Hunter from Salt Lake City, who sent us a $5 order. I apologize, I missed it.
When did he send it?
2 years ago.
Oh.
3 years ago, 2022. Okay. But listen, man.
What month in 2022? Because that's almost 4 years ago now.
It doesn't tell me.
Oh.
It just says expired. So I can't even see what he asked for. But, I didn't even know about this, dude. I cannot believe. Oh my God, I cannot believe how many.
What?
Bro, like I'm a golf fan, and I need to look at this on desktop. You
Dude is bought in now.
you can't tell me. You cannot tell me. I'm looking at the Cameo quote unquote leaderboard. And I am amazed at this. Here are number one in the world, somebody named Ash Trevino. Is that still true? But number 5, Bob Does Sports.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Who apparently does videos for $150.
Yeah.
And has made millions of dollars.
I'm telling you, guys, go on our Cameo and just request videos. I'll make some. Monty will make some. I'm happy to do it, dude. Happy to do it. Even if it's,
bro.
I mean, I have no idea what a proper price for the video would be. You know, I mean, I'm inclined to think that, you know, $50, $100, I don't know, like whatever you guys are comfortable with. But, you know, like I have no problem with it. You can add it, because I think on Cameo, I could be wrong, but I think on Cameo you can basically request anything. Like you can request anything. Like most people were doing happy birthday videos or whatever when it started, but I think you can request like whatever. You can like ask for advice. You can request like whatever. So, you know.
Hello? Was I offline?
You like froze and then came back. Now you froze again. Here we go. See, this is what happens. You start talking about Cameo, and all of a sudden, you know, Monty's got, you know, some type of internet issue happening.
Oh, no. Do I really?
Now I can hear you again.
I said, oh, no. Do I really?
Yes, you did. You look fine now. Yeah, it looks fine now.
Okay. Yeah, I am amazed. People are making millions of dollars a month on this.
Yeah.
Like, hey, listen, if you want to pay me some kind of bread to do some whatever, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I'll make you videos. You wanna do that? Like, hey, let's do it, man.
I'm dead ass serious. How much would you guys pay for cameos? Would it be like $10, $50? Like, what seems like a reasonable price? What's a reasonable price? That's what I want to know in the comments section. What would you guys be willing to do? I'm down
the rabbit hole. Now I am down the rabbit hole. And I have no idea. How any of this works. But hey, I'm good with it. You know, you all want to pay me $5, dude. I am shocked that this many people. Like I am amazed. Okay,
so we have our first contributor here, Gabriel. $10 is a reasonable price, maybe $25. Okay. So your opinion is anywhere between $10 to $25 should be the price.
Okay. $10 to $25.
Yeah. So I'm saying maybe we, you know, maybe we, you know, cut it in half and do 20, you know, let's say.
Okay. You know, I'm fine with that if that's what y'all. Yeah. Why would you pay it? Like, okay, so here's my point. What is this just a fun, cool thing? Is that what this is?
It's what it is it's a more, again, it's all about exclusivity. The whole point here is they're putting in a personal request that, you know, for us, you or me, to make a video to them for whatever they're looking for, whether that's a happy birthday to some random or advice or opinion. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what it's about. I mean, I'm not interested in asking for people to, you know, come out with some hefty price, but I certainly don't want us to be wasting our time. So $20 feels fair to me. I agree with that, Gabriel. And, you know, I think that I would be more than happy to do that. I think that it's more than, you know, it's more, we're more than capable of doing it, you know, like It's just not a problem. I mean, I could easily see doing them on golf courses or in all kinds of different places too. Like, might just be from the office one day. It just depends on when you put the request in.
Hey, listen, I'll whore myself out if you guys want to pay me $25.
Yeah.
I'm all good with that. It's crazy to me. Dude, I cannot believe the Cameo leaderboard is incredible to me. It is really spectacular to me when I look at the money that people are making doing this.
Yeah.
I'm down. That Bob Does Sports is $150 and he's number 5 in the world is amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't know who these other people are, like Ian Somerhalder.
Look it up. I've never heard of him. Maybe it's a celebrity.
Yeah, never heard of these dudes. John Cusack, the actor, is number 11. Joey Cold Cuts from Bob Does Sports is number 12. Like, okay. Hey, I'm down. You guys want to send me requests to do videos, or you want to have Jakey Two Shakes in his vest do a video for you?
We're gonna make this a thing. I want to push this every day for like the rest of the month. I want you guys to at least try this.
Yeah.
And I want to see if it works. And I only say that not because $10 or $20 a pop is like insane money or something, but if it's something where, because I'm a big believer, philosophically speaking, that nowadays people really enjoy short form stuff. Like you guys like to doom scroll, you want your 2-minute video. And so, if we're getting a lot of these requests, if you guys want advice, if you want, opinions, if you want, whatever it is, like it's kind of a wide ranging thing. But I mean, if it really is something that would be valuable to you guys, I mean, there's no reason we can't do it. And I think that you guys should put the requests in. Like, were you able to set the price? Does it give you that option?
I'm working on it as we sit here. I am working on it. YouTube creator, that's the category. Okay. I'm a YouTube creator.
Let's set it at $10. Let's because we're just starting out. It's such an on the fly thing. Let's make it cheap for people. $10, you can get a cameo from us. Let's just start there. And at $10,
okay.
And at $10, we'll do $10. Today's February 10th. We'll do $10 for the next week. If we get 20 or 30 cameo requests, we will make it.
Okay, there you go. Fan video. How much? Your recommended price?
$10.
My recommended price is $55, but I'm going to do $10.
We're going to do $10 the rest of this week. If it's a success. If it's a success, then we will find a price that's a bit higher, but that is reasonable.
Yeah. And you have to, you actually have to like verify your identity. Okay. Yeah. Send me, you guys, I'll do some cameos for $10.
Do it.
Okay.
Well, it's $10 right now because we need to see if people like it. If people like this and they want to do it, the price is going to go up a little bit.
Knock, knock. Hey, playa, if you're in there, where can I get some? Exactly. Hey, player. Thank you. I have, thank you. I have, the building security. Mayor of Montytown, I think 1984 is reasonable. I would agree with that. Gabriel says a cameo is literally free money for these celebrities. Yeah, I think so. Those are TikTok people. Okay. A reasonable price would be $1 to $98. Okay. I'm hurt. Does this mean you're no longer saving up for my birthday present? It does.
Listen, we have a cameo.
You're out of luck.
We have a cameo. $10. You can get a birthday present from us, dude. It's that simple.
Yeah. Rock and Rant. Jake says, quote, I want to just try sending me money for a video to see if it works. That's right. Just send us a pile of money.
Dude. Like, do you know how many videos that we have made that haven't made us any money? I would welcome a $10 contribution to this program. I would.
Can we request thoughts or takes on a certain topic? Yes.
Anything. I'm not like anything sports, politics, advice. I mean, it can be as simple as, what do you think of this? it could be about cars. I mean, basically whatever you're looking for, man. It's really just I would say for us with the show, we do talk about a lot of different things, right? Like obviously some days it's politics, other days it's food, other days it's travel. Today it's phone security. Like there's a lot of things that make the cut for the show, but the plethora of things that don't make the cut for the show, you guys would be blown away by. So when I say that it's whatever you're feeling that particular day, it really is. Like it can be whatever you want.
Yeah. And there you go. I'm officially approved. And now I have to scan my ID and do a bunch of other stuff to verify.
Scan the ID, identification, and paperwork and stuff.
Yeah. This reflects where our culture has gone. We equate fame and wisdom and excellence. It's just not true. I totally agree.
Yeah, listen, I'm not, let's be clear. I'm not saying that we're the smartest person in the room. I'm just simply saying that we're willing to interact with you guys.
We're willing to take your money. That's what Jake is saying.
I think I just think that honestly, and this is a conversation we can have. I think that it's where content's going, dude. Like you can get this show for free every day. Obviously, that's how we do this. That's the whole point of how we chose to do this. But I do think that there is value in getting one-off short form content that's unique to your request. I do think that is something that we haven't done a lot in our setup yet that I think potentially has value. And so, it's not something that we talked about discussing today, but since it came up, like I would do that. I would.
Isn't it funny how these conversations just take us down a rabbit hole?
Yeah, but this is the beauty of the way we do our show. Like, I don't have to worry about spot breaks and stuff. We can just talk about this and vet it while we're doing the show. And, I'm not even looking to get hundreds of dollars per request. Like I'm literally saying do it at $10 because then, hey, send us a few requests, send us a couple a week.
Listen, if you said to me, hey, I want Jake's opinion on the Oregon women's lacrosse water polo team, here's $10. Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, I want Two Holes' opinion on Dan's package. Okay, great. Thanks, dude. That's the request I was looking for.
Hey, Jake, can you send me a cameo talking about how to get over the damage that happens on the vocal cords when you just are throat slamming?
Was just phenomenal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, as long as you guys don't charge us $25,000, I respect you guys for giving back to the people at a great price. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on.
These celebrities make $25K for saying 2 words, happy birthday. Well, apparently you can send kind of an in-depth script where you say, hey, I want you to say happy birthday to huge cockneck tight ends coach, Dick Colorado Hammer guy, right? Like talk to Dick Hammer you can do that.
Well, that was the genesis of Cameo. That was the origin, the original purpose of Cameo. Hey, you're Brad Pitt. I want a one-off video of Brad Pitt telling my buddy, Joey Cold Cuts, happy birthday. And so I'm going to pay you a certain amount to get that. But in our setup, I'm not even saying that would be the best use of your request.
No.
What I'm saying is for us, it would be much more of a we could do something like that, but I would say best bang for your buck would be opinion-based stuff. Like, what's your opinion on this? What do you think of that? Hey, I'm in this particular situation. Wanted your opinion. That type of material, I would say, is probably.
I already get asked. Hey, I want to start this business. Like I've had DMs with people who are like, hey, I know you do Amazon. I want to do drop shipping, or like we've done that behind the scenes 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're going to pay me $10 or $20 to do that, happy to oblige.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that it's look, you told this story yesterday on the show about hey, I golfed with, Washington football coaches and stuff.
Yes.
And they opened our channel and oh, you have 200,000 subs. We have a lot of people that follow the show, but I think it's kind of like an untapped market for us of hey, we have time to where we could do one-off stuff like that, 2 or 3 minute, we could fulfill requests like that. That wouldn't be like a huge problem for us. So, I think it's not a huge deal. But what I will say is it's something that could be a lot of fun for people, especially given the fact that, dude, again, I just think there's so much to talk about. Like, the stuff that doesn't make the cut for the show is like endless. I'm telling you that there is so many things that we don't talk about on the show because people get so pissy about it that it's not worth our time to talk about. But it's just endless. So I'm telling you, we do a sports based show, but like there are so many other things that go on, like, topically speaking.
Yeah, all I'm saying is I think it's amazing. I think it is, now that I've gotten into it and I'm seeing how much money all these people are making, it is wild to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's wild that the amount of money that people are making on it, but I'm not even saying we should do it just for that. Like, yeah, sure, $10, great, cool, whatever, that's fine. But I think it's a cool way for you guys to be able to connect with us outside of the show. Like, with all due respect, I'm not interested in meeting you guys face to face. With all due respect, it's just not. That's not how I'm trying to spend my day. But I'm more than happy to interact with you guys in that way. If you want to talk about something that maybe we don't have time for on the show, or like you want an opinion, like, do it. Like, yes, let's do it. It's really it can be a fun thing.
Yeah. People are DMing me saying they can't find my profile. Well, I appreciate you guys looking. I don't even know, like, why would you?
Okay, yeah, I got to go and look.
It's just the Monty Show. MONTY, the Monty Show _. That's the whole thing. So, which I'm good with. I think. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I don't want to. Yeah. I'm going down the rabbit hole and being distracted during the show.
Right.
So,
right.
You don't want to see us hooligans in person? Damn, no, I don't. All right, hour number 2 of the Monty Show is always presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. I do want to come back and put a bow around this North Dakota State Mountain West Pac-12 thing, because I think there is a big conversation about who benefited the most from this. Was it the Mountain West? Was it the Pac-12? Or was it somebody else? We'll talk about that next after this from the Advocates.
You're not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the Advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
Indeed you do. The Advocates at theadvocates.com, 24/7, 365. The best part about working with the Advocates is obviously they are people who understand the situation that you're in. They use compassion and empathy because they've been there and they've done that. They've worked with people who've been in terrible car accidents, who've gotten hurt at work, who got in an accident while they were riding in an Uber, who got attacked by their neighbor's dog. All of those things, you didn't deserve that. You didn't deserve to get hit by a distracted driver or get hit while you were riding your bike or your scooter. But you do deserve an advocate, somebody that'll give you clear, risk-free advice, who has not only fought the fight that you're getting into, but won that fight. And the best part is you never reach into your pocket to pay the Advocates, because you don't pay the Advocates unless and until they win your case at theadvocates.com. Jake, your day after reactions from the shocking news that North Dakota State is joining the Mountain West. Just your reactions today, now that you've had a couple of days to marinate on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that people were genuinely surprised. I think that my reaction to it is North Dakota State is passionate about it. I think that it's the way they view it is it's a big opportunity for them to continue to improve their situation. just everything that I've seen, their mentality is look, we had an opportunity to step up. We wanted to give our staff and our kids the opportunity to compete at a higher level. I think that North Dakota State clearly values its FCS relationships, just in what their AD said about scheduling and things like that. They're going to work hard to have one P4 game every year. They're also going to work hard to have one FCS game every single year. And then they're going to have their 8 conference games. And I think that's great. I think that's how they should be doing it. You don't want to just abandon the relationships you had, but you also have to push forward. So, I mean, I do think for them, it's a big win. And I think now it's just full steam ahead on winning games and doing everything that you can do to be successful in the Mountain West. And then for the Mountain West itself, I think the Mountain West is, I just think they continue to stabilize themselves. They continue to fortify their position. They continue to head the right direction. I think that timing wise, it's kind of lost on people. I don't see many people talking about it, but I think it's really smart that you announced a media rights deal, and then that very same timeline you've expanded. Yeah, same week you've expanded. And I'm inclined to think that that expansion opportunity was probably run by your TV partners as well, right? Like, obviously, as part of putting a media rights deal together, you were transparent, I'm assuming, with your TV partners and your streaming partners and all of that about, hey, we're going to add North Dakota State and maybe we'll add one more. So, our value is going to keep going up as a conference, and we're going to keep spreading our footprint so we can stream on your platform in more places. So it's a win for you, and it's a win for us, and it's a win for them. Like, I just think that they're putting the puzzle pieces together and the momentum's going forward. And again, like, I think for the Pac-12, because you're sitting still, you're now going backwards, right? You haven't added anything to the conference, so you haven't added value. You're still trying to figure out how to pay your bills and keep conference members or the future conference members happy. And I genuinely am waiting for the day where we wake up and it's like, well, yeah, we're Boise State and maybe we're not going to leave, actually. Maybe we regret that decision and we're going to try and unwind that watch. And I don't know if we ever see that. I don't know if that ever takes place or what the thought's going to be. But I have a hard time thinking that, like, the conversation we were having the other day about, whether Teresa Gould would be able to hold her post as commissioner, for the next 10 years. I don't know. We're not hearing anything, which means one of two things. They're either still completely bought in and are just dying on the hill, or there is a ton of, we have information that says there is strife internally, that schools are unhappy, that there is frustration.
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
But like, does that frustration bleed into the administration office of the conference? I don't know. I don't know if there's a lack of trust and belief now in Teresa based on the fact that the Mountain West is just getting win after win right now. I don't know. But what I do know is that this conference in the Pac-12 has to do something. There has to be something that you get done soon. Like, they can't just continue to be silence, nothing, no movement, no traction, no progress, nothing. Like, that's not the answer.
Yeah, the thing that I think is very apparent is that the win here is the Mountain West. And this bite, then I'm going to play you this video of Tim Pollock, the head coach at North Dakota State. I mean, I think it comes through very clearly how much this means to that football program and to Coach Pollock himself.
Jill and I have never been on this solid of ground with our conversations over the last 3 months that were kind of forced on us with some of our opportunities. But I think when that stuff comes up, it really makes you take a hard look at what do you want out of life? Where do you want to do it? And I just know if there was 5% chance going back to late November or early December, I wanted to have a chance to take our staff who's in the back, and I wanted to be on the sideline with them. I wasn't really looking for any other opportunity but that. I think this puts us right where we want to be with a lot of intentional focus on how to get the job done, and that's pretty exciting.
I mean, it's very, you can hear it in his voice. He was never leaving this unless he had the opportunity to take them to the top. And I think that's exactly what you're seeing here. And I think it absolutely matters that for North Dakota State, they feel like now they have their seat at the table, and it kind of feels like they've been desperate to do that for a while. So clearly North Dakota State gets a win, but you look at the Mountain West in all of this, and there is no doubt in my mind that this is an unequivocal win for the Mountain West. It is this question, and I saw all of the Neanderthalic Pac-12 fans talking about how all the money and the power lies in the Pac-12. You can keep telling yourself that. It doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it true, because I think when you look at what the Mountain West did here, this is a long-term foundational move, right? I don't think, because the Mountain West has had conversations with a number of universities. I don't believe, and I think Gloria as much said yesterday, they're not adding anybody else right now. Getting them to 10 is a nice round number. I don't think there's any doubt if they had an opportunity to add 2 more high-quality clubs, would they do? Sure. But they don't need to do that now. They are certainly in a much better place foundationally, and with the ability to move forward with North Dakota State and their other membership, this is a fait accompli now. The Pac-12 is on the clock, and I think that's my biggest takeaway from the Mountain West adding North Dakota State is I think not only did you stabilize the Mountain West, but I don't have any doubt that you destabilized the Pac-12.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Pac-12 is, they were already on shaky footing, in my opinion. I think that the hype and the media train wants to tell you that the Pac-12 is fine and everything's cool. But again, nobody's been able to answer the question of why has it been so quiet? Why has there been nothing out of this conference? Absolutely nothing coming from the commissioner's office. What are they doing? What are they? I mean, are they spending their days just looking for more money? Is that what you're doing? Is that like, are you spending your days looking for expansion opportunities? Are you like, genuinely, I'm not even being a red ass. I'm genuinely asking, like, if you're the Pac-12 right now, like what's the strategy? What's the movement here? Because there's not a lot of clean cut expansion opportunities for you right now. And North Dakota State certainly would have been, a little bit of an oddball for you geographically, but it's still an opportunity given, the fact that there's not just expansion opportunities falling off trees for this conference. And I think that the Pac-12 is just in this situation where they're at some point going to have to answer the question of, like, how are you paying your bills? How do you, like, I get that they have money in coffers. I get that there's money there that they can survive on. But did anybody really do this or like reboot this conference, or at least try to, with the intent of just paying bills? I mean, is that what you thought this was going to be? I mean, clearly you're going to go through your first season. I think we can all agree on that. But I don't know. It just to me feels like, again, I'm not reporting anything. This isn't factual. It's just my opinion based on how long we've been covering this and what we know about these guys, that it feels like to me, you're in this place where the clock is ticking here. Like,
yes.
you are bleeding and you are trying to stop that bleeding, and you're not having a lot of success. And you're going to get to a point where your hand is forced. At some point, you are going to have to say, okay, yeah, like we're on a trajectory here where we can't sustain this. It's just not sustainable financially to reboot this conference. So we either need to merge, or we're just going to wind up shutting this thing down. To which I say, my opinion is if you just were to shut this conference down after one season of play, you're going to get sued by all those schools that joined you. And they're going to say, hey, you promised us something that didn't take place. You promised us, 10, 12 a year.
But I don't see any reason that they would do that. I don't see any reason. You're not shutting the Pac-12 down.
I mean, if you were if you can't sustain, what are you going to do? You're just going to keep losing money every year?
You are going to toil, and you're going to figure it out. But let's make it very clear. The Mountain West is in a significantly more stable position now than they were a week ago. And I think they are in a significantly more stable position than the Pac-12 is. And I think the Pac-12, these TV deals and media distribution deals and grant of rights, those are all done. Those deals are done now. Like you made a bed, and you have to lie in that bed. And the Pac-12, I think the thing that's very clear is North Dakota State could have gone to the Pac-12 and did not go. That much is very clear. And I just think without question, you can sit here and we can talk in circles about this and that. Gloria Nevarez is running the business of the Mountain West at a very high level. I don't think there's any doubt about that. There's no question about that anymore. The Mountain West is in a significantly better position, and you hear Coach Polek talk about what this move means, and it is incredible to me that they are this far ahead.
Yes.
The Pac are spending their days on deciding who to sue next. You're not entirely wrong about that. I don't think so at all. Yeah, and hit the like button. I don't even know. Our like numbers are, come on now. We've had 1,256 views, and we've got 22 likes. Let's go. Hit the like button. Right here on the Monty Show. Has the Pac-12 asked Marty for a birthday present many times? And I unfortunately...
Yeah, but see, they don't need to do that now, right? Well, all they need to do is they need to go on our Cameo page, pay us $10, and we'll provide them the birthday gift.
Yeah. Yeah, we're on Cameo now, people.
Yeah, and let us know if you have any trouble. You said one person said they were having trouble finding it.
Yeah, Marcus was saying that he found our account, but it needs to be verified.
Oh, okay. So it's probably just processing.
Yeah, so I have to, what I have to do is I have to get a picture of my driver's license and plug that in, and
okay,
there's just
we'll get it set
all
up
kind of stuff.
Yeah, we'll get it set up
this is a work in progress.
Yeah,
for sure it's going to happen. So, but yeah, no doubt about it. Hit the like button. I think this just goes back to, before we move on, because I do want to get to this fighting in the NBA thing, because I think this is a big deal. But college sports is not fun anymore. This thing with Darryn Peterson last night, this stuff with Bediako, paying players, college football realignment, this is not fun anymore. I would love a time where somebody wasn't suing somebody because they don't want the rules that are in place to be applied to them. And that's all these lawsuits are. The Charles Bediako thing is strictly he doesn't want rules that are applied, that are on the books, applied to him. It's as simple as that. And you look at how many lawsuits are pending around college sports. It's zapped my passion for a lot of things in college sports.
Yeah.
It is zapped my passion.
Couldn't agree
if
more.
we're being totally honest. And I love college football. I really enjoyed North Carolina and Duke the other night. And that's about where it ends. It's like, I look at Notre Dame football like I look at the Bears, the Chicago Bears. Notre Dame's got a better stadium situation, but that's here nor there. I am telling you right now, the enjoyment is being taken away from college sports. And it is frustrating to me. Lopes fan Gabe, but can I get a shirtless cameo from BDM? Hey, man. Have to think Big Daddy Magic's on Cameo, right?
No.
Probably not. On a more serious note, are the G5 gearing up to separate when the Super League finally happens? Is all this posturing for future dominance at a new tier? How could it not be? Right? I would think it has to be.
But aren't you always posturing? Aren't you always trying to be, aren't you always trying to be on top, or always trying to be, have the ace in the hole, or always trying to have the edge. I feel like everyone's constantly doing that nowadays.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Like we
And
care so much about how we're viewed and like, what our value is. And like, I just think that if I'm the Mountain West, I am very much treating the Pac-12 like the petulant child they are. And we'll go through litigation. We'll get that taken care of. And then we're never acknowledging your existence again. And it just is what it is. Like you tried to burn our conference down. We didn't let that happen. You took some of our most valuable members and then mistreated them, in my opinion. You promised them something you're never going to be able to deliver on. And they believed it. So that's on them. But that just adds to the vitriol.
Yep.
And you then decided that what's best for student athletes wasn't good enough for you, which is why these two didn't merge. So if I'm the Mountain West, I'm already in a more dominant position. Like Brandon, I don't think it's gearing up. I think they've already done it. I think that they're already past the Pac-12. I think that it's not even really a conversation at this point anymore. And I think that Pac-12 fan will tell you it's a conversation because what else are they going to talk about? Like, what else do you have? The only conversation in the Pac-12 you have is us versus the world. Us versus the Mountain West currently versus whoever it's going to be in the future. Like, so to me, it's like, I'm done offering mergers. I tried to merge with you. It's not, you don't want it. Okay, great. So if I'm the Mountain West, I'm preparing for the potential outcome that the Boise States of the world want back into the Mountain West in 3 years.
Yep.
And
you really believe that?
Yes, I do.
You really believe that?
Yes, I do. I think that those schools were sold a package of goods that was never going to be delivered on because you never would have left the Mountain West and the security the Mountain West provides you to go to a situation that was uncertain. Why, if you're an athletic department who has shown the ability to get to the CFP, did you leave your conference? Help me understand that. Why? Why did you need, what did the Pac-12 give you that you didn't have in the Mountain West already? Nothing.
Well, a bill of goods. You were sold a vision, right? And as somebody that is in high level sales, I joke all the time. I'm an art dealer, man. I'm selling paintings that depict your future. And I think that's what the Pac-12 got. They sold a bunch of visions and in my opinion, a bunch of hee-hoo, and the Mountain West teams bought it. That's my opinion.
So why do I believe it? Because they're not going to be able to pay their bills in 3 years. They're going to be losing money at a rate that is not sustainable. Like, yeah, sure. Can they come out of pocket with their boosters to cover costs? Of course. Yeah,
sure.
Obviously.
Sure.
But that's not my point. My point is that athletics should be able, like football should be able to cover the rest of your athletics. Like there's a clear formula as to how this should be done.
Yes.
And I'm telling you that formula is not going to be delivered upon in the Pac-12. And so again, if I'm the Mountain West, I am preparing for a very, like, I believe it to a point of like 60%. I think there's a 60% chance that 3 seasons from now, by 2030, these schools are right back in the Mountain West after the Pac-12 has failed and folded. Because I don't think, like, just step back for a minute. Take the emotion out of the Pac-12 versus Mountain West battle. If I just said to you, hey, college football or an athletic conference is struggling to get TV distribution worthy of paying its members, and its leadership is in question, and they don't really have a path forward, like, schools can't wait around, dude. There is no waiting around. Like, to Brandon's point, like, if you're Boise State, did you not think about the Super League possibility when you said yes to the Pac-12? Did you not consider how limiting that would be to you?
But wasn't part of the sales pitch we're going to be a P4 conference?
Of course, which is one of the things that, dude, it's one of the things that I would be bitter about if I was those schools.
Yes.
There is no
Absolutely.
way this conference is ever going to be a power conference again. That's not happening ever.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is. There's almost no chance that you are ever going to, because I think on some level you were sold that, hey, we're the Pac-12, we're rebuilding this thing. Yeah, they got sold the brand name. I think that's absolutely true. And it's what I've been telling people for how long? The Pac-12 brand is dead. There is no Pac-12 brand. Nobody buys on what happened in the past, right? Like that's not a thing. There was a certain purity before NIL because the kids were doing it for the love of the game or school. Now it's money and the money and loyalty is gone. Yeah, I totally
Dude,
agree.
you had to break your back. You had to bust your balls. You had to die on that field to get to the NFL. And that's not the case anymore.
I agree 100%. Once the future of the ACC is determined, everything's going to change again, and this all starts over.
Yeah, I think the ACC is still a ticking time bomb in terms of football. I think and we didn't, but hear me out. We didn't touch on it, but there was all that smoke and all that noise about, well, Miami wanted to go to the Big Ten and Miami wanted to get out and the Big Ten said no, and Miami's obviously not going to the SEC. And so everyone was like, okay, well, is the Big 12 going to step in and try to poach some of these teams? And then of course, everyone immediately, migrated to, well, why would the Big 12 do that when we're just going to roll out a Super League anyway? Why there's just no need for doing all the paperwork and transitioning conferences and all that, when all we're going to do anyway is put together an NFL minor league model of a Super League, and we're going to ride off into the sunset anyway. So
I don't think you can argue with that.
Yeah, so like the future of the ACC, at least in football, is pretty much locked up. I think we all know where football is going. The question is basketball, because at a certain point, this is why the tournament is expanding. This is why they wanted, what is it, 72 teams now or 68 teams or whatever it is. This is why you're pushing that number up, because conferences want guarantees because they don't know where they're going to be in 5 years. To which I say, eventually it's going to come out what these schools were sold in the Pac-12. Eventually it will come out. Somebody will talk about it. Somebody will talk about it, or like documents will come out, or like there will be some type of reveal. And if you were sold that conference was going to be a power conference again, and you legitimately bought that, all I have to say is shame on you. Like, you're not very smart, because anybody who's anybody in this business knows that the Power Four were never going to allow a fifth portion of the pie to be sold.
Do you believe? I don't know that I agree with the Pac-12 still has a good name.
No,
I don't know that I agree with that. Yeah, and exactly right. 60% of the time it works 100% of the time.
Yeah,
right.
Well, I think what James is saying is that all they have is the name, and that's it. There's no substance behind it. To which I would say
that I would agree with.
I would agree with that. I think that the Pac-12, dude, the Pac-12 is trying to live on what it used to be because it's got nothing to live on now. And until they are accountable to the fact that there's no substance to their conference, and that all of this is just, hey, help us, and it's why I think you don't hear her talking, but she made a massive mistake rolling out transformational partnerships. I said it the day of, and I'm still saying it today. That was
Teresa Gould, you mean?
You postured yourself in such a weak way by saying that. What you tried to do is you tried to say, we're great and we need partners who will help us up that greatness. But what instead you did is you said, hey, we're in a bad position and we need people to help us get to where we need to go. And that's just, I don't believe you're ever recovering from that.
Yeah, I certainly think Oregon State, I will continue to say, is the victim here. Oregon State just got caught in the malaise of realignment, and they are continuing to pay the price for that. And at some point, I guess it ends. And I just don't believe that I think there's zero brand value in the name the Pac-12.
Yeah.
It's a laughing stock. It is not.
And I would even go as far as to say they are not viewed positively based on their business negotiations, which is why I have questions about Teresa as the commissioner.
I don't disagree. The Pac name left with USC and UCLA and Oregon. I would agree with that. Washington State, the Beavers, were never enough to save the conference. This is a bunch of corporate people trying to save their jobs. Could be.
Yep.
Could be. Right. I mean, I just think it's very interesting that we have this is where we are in college athletics now. This is where we are in college athletics. I would remind you the NFL draft is in 72 days. And I would remind you that all of this will be forgotten because we're going to go into a very quiet time in college athletics now. I think post NCAA tournament, I think you're going to see that it is going to be very quiet. What do we have? 7 weeks left in the NCAA basketball season, college basketball, 7 weeks ish. First weekend of April, the season ends.
Darryn Peterson has less than that though, because he doesn't play as much. So
yeah. My guess is that we're going to go into a very quiet time leading up to the NFL draft. I don't think we're going to hear realignment this year is not a thing.
Nope.
I'm very curious to see, when do we get a settlement on this Mountain West Pac-12 suit? Because you have to settle, in my opinion. And again, the NFL draft is in 72 days, and I think it's one of the most significant lines of demarcation of the sports calendar year. And I'm just as convinced as I have ever been that the NFL is in cahoots with college football, as they should be. So everybody blames ESPN. I just think that the NFL has to step in, just like the NBA has to step in on college basketball. They won't, because they have their own set of terrible problems. But I think the NFL has to step in and save college football, because we're going in the wrong direction now. And I am officially on the side of the line that college football needs saving now.
Yeah.
I think it is an absolute disaster. Fight night in the NBA. Okay, what do you think is the biggest problem with the NBA right now? Why are you not watching, Jake?
Yeah, because I just don't think there's a reason to watch. Like, there's not enough of a story. It used to be, the way I verbalize it is, I used to have old reliable in the NBA. Every night I could turn the TV on and I would watch for one of several things depending on who was playing, right? Like, if LeBron's playing, I'm looking for LeBron's game, right? Like, because he's going to give you something special pretty much every night. Chase down block, big dunks, virtuoso performance, whatever it was.
Yep.
So you could always rely on LeBron. I think that Kevin Durant used to be must-watch TV every single night. I don't think he's that anymore. So I think generally, guys are aging out. I think that the golden era is ending, and we're waiting for something to follow that up. But I'm not confident the league has that. Like, obviously there's talent, but I don't, I just don't think that, guys are as big as stars as Steph and Bron and KD. And it's just not the same. It just feels different. It doesn't feel as important or big. But I do think that Adam Silver, the league needs to move on from him. And I appreciate that he led this league through the pandemic and he's faced some challenges, but the league needs a commissioner right now that's more dynamic than this guy is. And I hate to say it, but I need someone who's vocal. I need someone who's that personality, that's the pretty ass face in the room, that likes to talk a lot and likes to dominate the narrative. That's what the league needs right now. You need an aggressive commissioner that will come in, that will sell the hell out of expansion, that will be passionate about it, and that will push the league in a direction where I have my rivalries back. I'm sick and tired of talking about Oklahoma City. I'm sick and tired of talking about Bron in LA, dude. Like, move along. I'm done with it. Like, I want Knicks and Celtics to be cool again. I want Knicks and Celtics Lakers to be back. I want Lakers Mavericks to be a thing again. I want, I need the this fight last night is a good example of what I'm talking about. Nobody gives a damn about this fight in terms of what it means for playoff standings, or nobody cares. That's nobody not the point. Cares. Like, the only reason this fight matters last night is because it's something different than what we get every single night in the NBA.
Well, and it's bringing people to the TV.
Yeah, so you got attention. But what I'm talking about is, if we're going to have a fight, I want that fight to be originated out of two teams that are really good and are grinding for something more, like playoff standings, or it's Kobe versus Matt Barnes,
so it means more, Jake.
Something. Yeah, because I'm not watching right now. And I have to say, I'd like to tie in this YouTube TV sports bundle thing into this conversation, because it matters. You know, YouTube TV finally rolling out this chopped down sports package for $65 a month. The price is not unreasonable, right? It's not an unreasonable price. My struggle right now with this YouTube TV thing is that I'm getting most of what I need out of the ESPN app. Like, the ESPN app makes it incredibly easy to get like 90% of what I need. The only thing that I'm not getting in there is like Olympic coverage right now, or, you know, sometimes golf is not in there given on certain events, you know, like just depending on what you're looking for. Like, it's very situational niche stuff, but I just am, there's not a lot to hold on to. It's like F1, dude. F1 used to be like super hot. Do you guys know that F1 just rolled out 2 new teams in Audi and Cadillac, and nobody cares? Nobody cares. Nobody's watching. You went to Apple TV and it's like the sport folded.
Dead.
Like dead. Nobody cares.
Dead.
So what is the NBA's biggest problem? Well, the NBA's biggest problem is that, you know, you rolled out all these different TV partners, and NBC was supposed to be this great renaissance. And yeah, the new NBC theme being back was cool. And I agree, their picture quality is superior to ESPN's right now, and I really appreciate that. But that doesn't mean I'm watching constantly. It doesn't mean that I'm interested in SGA's whistle dominating a game constantly because you want to give him more looks. Like, I'm over that portion of the league. The league needs to shift from where it is now to competitive, you know, aggressive defense kind of games. Because that ultimately is what's hurt the league, in my opinion. You have given such an advantage to the offensive player that we're just not seeing good bad. Why was, let me put it this way. Why is it that in the early 2000s, offenses moved the ball more? Oh, that's right, because you could play physical defense. So one-on-one wasn't getting it done. You had to move the ball.
Yeah.
That's what that to me is the heart of the problem in the league.
Well, and I think the players aren't relatable. I think there's so much LeBron hate. And I think some of that is the political climate in this country, certainly. But I think there's so much LeBron hate. And I think the Mavericks trading Luka to the Lakers drove a lot of that. I think Adam Silver is a dreadful commissioner who's done a dreadful job. Things like the All-Star game just don't matter anymore. It's dreadful. I also think the way that we watch TV has changed significantly. And I think this whole thing with the direct TV, Sunday ticket, NBA League Pass, it was easy with direct TV. It's so difficult right now. And I am a big believer that ESPN is what I need and want in my life. And I am a subscriber to ESPN. I don't think I'll be buying the sports package on YouTube TV.
Yeah.
You know what really pisses me off? I'm trying to watch the Olympics with the beloved last night, right? Like, we're sitting there, turn on the cock, doesn't work.
What do you mean? Like, the feed wasn't working?
The whole app does not load because there's so many people streaming on it.
Oh. I hadn't run into that issue, but that doesn't surprise me.
Doesn't look. So you turn on YouTube TV. The Olympics are on time delay. You go back to Peacock, it resets itself, and then you can watch this and that. And it's a pain in my ass.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pain in my ass. And I already have enough strife in my life. I don't need to be, trying to figure out where to watch who and when. I have no idea when the Olympic tournament for hockey starts. No idea when the Olympic tournament starts.
It's later this week, but I couldn't tell you what day or time.
Could not tell you when. I know exactly that I can watch Pebble Beach this Thursday through Sunday, and it's all the early rounds are going to be on ESPN Plus. I know exactly how to watch that.
Coverage is excellent on ESPN Plus.
I know how to watch that. I don't have to wonder, right?
Yeah, I don't feel like they did a good job marketing. Bless you. I don't feel like they did a good job marketing the Olympics this year. Like, I didn't know. Maybe it's strong to say I didn't know, but it didn't dawn on me that the Olympics were happening now. Like, it wasn't put out there, I feel like, real good.
Yeah, my wife loves the Olympics, and I don't know, this is probably over the top. I'm going too far with it. I think it's difficult to watch the Olympics. I think it's difficult. The Peacock app sucks. And, with YouTube TV, everything's on delay. Like I finally watched TGL last night. So my wife,
what'd you think of it?
My wife, who hates me, doesn't really care if I'm happy or not. So she makes me go and lift weights. So we're watching TGL right before we leave. I thought it was great.
Tony Finau as a Jordan Brand ambassador is incredible. I mean, just couldn't ask for a better ambassador in the game.
But Neil Shipley getting a hole-in-one at TGL
was awesome. That was awesome.
With Min Woo Lee and Luke Clanton as teammates. Phenomenal. But why? They have personalities. They're really good at golf. And they're all mic'd up. And now I wish they had a golf simulator that worked. But other than that, TGL's great.
Simulators, dude.
TGL's great. And I enjoyed. And then we went and lifted weights because my wife hates me. And we came back down. I made 2-day-old steak that was freaking phenomenal. And we fought with Peacock until the ice skating guy came on and did a backflip.
Oh.
And then I went to bed.
Nice.
Deliric, the only All-Star game I actually look forward to is the NHL All-Star game.
I still maintain they've got the best All-Star weekend experience right now. Major League Baseball is right behind them, but the speed skating situation in the NHL All-Star game or All-Star weekend is awesome.
Yeah. Scott Barnes is toxic for a start of why the Pac-12 can't get anything done. Barnes reported several times that things never came to fruition. True. Scott Barnes has not had a great year. A great calendar year, 12 months. Not good. NBA needs to retire a lot of its older players and focus on young players. You don't retire players. TCU James, I want to see the Mavs with Cooper Flagg and Chris Middleton together. I think it can work. Now, if the Mavs trade those 5 picks for Giannis, that would be incredible.
Flagg and Middleton doesn't work together, dude. I got news for you.
At all.
Middleton is older. Middleton plays the same position that Flagg does. Flagg needs to be on the wing, and you need to allow him to operate just the way you are now. And
Cooper Flagg has to have the ball in his hands. And you need, Cooper Flagg. You know what the Mavericks need? They need Mark Cuban to actually, hopefully, there was a rumor yesterday that Mark Cuban is trying to reacquire the Mavs.
Yeah, there's a group led by Mark Cuban. Yeah.
That needs to happen. Because trading Anthony Davis for a bucket of balls is Chris Middleton. I love what he was. He's not that guy anymore. And he hasn't been the same since that wrist injury.
Yeah.
Just hasn't been the same guy. And the Mavs are pretty invisible and inconsequential on the whole. But now that you have Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, I think right now they're kind of invisible. But the Mavs have always been that team in the West that can be a real pain in your ass. And they've shown up in the playoffs multiple times. And I think the league needs them. Yeah.
And I think Cooper Flagg is that generational talent we've all talked about. I'm a huge Cooper Flagg believer.
Yep. And why? Because he got with Kyrie Irving and Kyrie Irving taught him. And if you look at the similarities between the way Coop is playing the game now, it is very similar to the way Kyrie plays the game. He doesn't handle it the way Kai does, obviously, but the little details, the finishing, the way he goes about it, like it's great to see. And by the way, I do think that Anthony Davis being out was a blessing for Cooper Flagg. I think that it allowed him to have the ball a lot more. It let him develop faster. It's just, it all works out, man. It all works out.
Why?
James, you want to send us a cameo request, dude? Maybe we can get you worked in that way. How about that?
Women's tournament this week. Men's tournament starts Saturday for hockey. Okay.
Our women's team is very good.
It is. Did you see our mixed doubles curling one?
Yes. Yeah, obviously it's USA. We're going to dominate curling. Screw the Norwegians or the Italians last night.
I would. Anyway, that's not really the point. Let's look at this fight real quick, because then we got to talk about the Jazz, and then we got to talk about privacy concerns. Look at this brawl between the Hornets and Pistons. First of all, Isaiah Stewart should be kicked out of the NBA. I mean, you're a scrub, you suck, and all you do is throw hands. Guys shouldn't be in the NBA. But this is just, I actually don't think this is that bad for the NBA. I do think it brings people back to the television, which at the end of the day, that's what you need.
Yeah.
And I think when you start looking at some of the other fights that happen, when you look at Colin Sexton flipping off the rim, like he literally raised the middle finger to the hoop last night, which I thought was amazing. And then you look at the fact that Duncan Robinson just casually strolled away from this fight, which if you go look at my Twitter feed, Duncan Robinson wanted nothing to do with defending his Piston teammates.
Nope.
And then on top of that, you look at the fact that there were multiple fights in the NBA last night. Maybe this is what the NBA needs. Maybe we just need to get ridiculous, throw hands, and feel better about ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, maybe so, dude. But I have to say, it's typically teams that there's always one awful team involved, right? The Pistons are a good team right now, but Charlotte's not. And
Well,
you know, I think that there's always the Isaiah Stewarts of the world are always going to be alive and well, and they have a place in the league, just like they do in any other sport. And I think that everyone's making a big to-do about him running off the bench. What did you expect? I mean, this guy's job is to
Charlotte
protect.
is a playoff team,
Yeah.
right? I mean, are they the number one in the East Pistons? They're not. But Isaiah Stewart can't be on the best team in the Eastern Conference. You can't do that. This was a legitimate throw hands, punching people in the face fight.
Mhm.
No, they're not lame. This was not a lame fight. This was, dude, go look at it. There were Miles Bridges somehow got under Isaiah Stewart's right hand, because that would have been an ender. That was an ender right there.
Yep.
Right? Like, yeah. Mad Max's was better. So was Maurice Lucas' fight. And Bird with the entire Detroit Pistons, specifically Lambeer. Yeah, screw Lambeer. Screw Lambeer. I hate the Pistons. I can't get behind shoving and being really physically, but fighting at a Pistons game is nothing new. No, it's not.
Yeah.
But apparently, here's a legitimate question. The Utah Jazz are refusing to play their best players when they're healthy.
Okay, that's not technically true.
No. Their guys played the first half the other night.
Yes.
Their guys played the third quarter the other night.
Yes.
Didn't play the fourth quarter, though.
Nope.
So you're telling me Jaren Jackson and McCarkinen just were...
Oh, they were just tired, Monty.
Because he's not, when he's not playing, it's Lauri McCarkinen. It's not Lowry Markkinen.
McCarkinen.
Sorry, dude. And then when Will Hardy was asked about putting Jackson or Lauri McCarkinen back in the game in the fourth quarter, did you ever think about it? He goes, I wasn't. Were you ever close to putting him back in the game? I wasn't.
Nope.
And you're telling me that's not tanking?
And I saw you tweeting it doesn't matter that they won the game. I disagree. I think it
doesn't matter.
Oh, I think it does, because you tanked and you still won the game, which makes it look even worse. It makes it look like you don't even know how to tank, which is just the dregs of the league.
But how do you explain the people who buy tickets?
Because they're just uneducated or they don't care. They think
I
that
disagree.
they well, then why are you buying tickets? Why are you supporting this team for losing then?
Like, wasn't that okay? This is you're talking about a team. What are the Jazz? 17-37, I think. You're on the road in Miami and you win the game, right? And Bryce Sensabaugh was spectacular again. But you win the game, you're on the road, and you don't think that Jaren Jackson and Lauri Markkanen, you don't think that those guys should be playing for the Miami Heat fans who bought tickets to see the Jazz? You don't think that's a thing?
No, I don't think they consider that even a little bit.
Yeah, well, this is my point. Then why are they playing? Why are you playing them the first 3 quarters and not the fourth quarter? Cramps? Who are you, Darryn Peterson? Right? I mean,
Darryn Peterson's going to catch strays the rest of his life, dude.
Darryn Peterson.
But yeah, I mean, look, I think that, yeah, I agree that tanking as a whole needs to be fixed. There's a lot of ways to fix it. I don't know what the best way is. Different show, I guess. But
take draft picks. That's how you fix it.
I would guess. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. But, again, the league doesn't have a commissioner with balls. So I don't know what he's ever going to do or what they're ever going to try to do. Like, and I think that it's my biggest problem with the Jazz and with teams who tank. It is, hey, we made it. Why did you make this deal at the deadline if you wanted to tank? Can I just ask that question? Why?
No idea.
What was the, like, because I understand the sentiment from guys like Brandon and other Jazz fans who are like, well, tanking is part of the plan. Like, it's not their fault that tanking is allowed, and that tanking is part of the plan. Okay, I get that. But then why, if you wanted to tank this year, why go and get those guys now and put your fans in this position? Because I agree. I personally, I'm not saying you're wrong.
I personally believe
that teams don't give a damn about when they're on the road. They don't give a damn about whether people are paying to see them or not. Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares.
So,
dude.
Jake, Marcus has a question.
Sure.
Are you?
What is it? What is it this time, dude?
I'm just curious. Is it just that Jake is dense, or he's just trying to create an argument
about what?
Like the tanking. They're clearly tanking.
Right. I know. What are we talking about? Like, I'm not disagreeing with that. What do you mean?
It does not matter if they won the game. It is bad for it. To Marcus's point, it is bad for every partner in the NBA. The team you're on the road facing, your fans on television, which makes it bad for your TV partners.
Right, but I'm not
when
talking
the best
about
players
the
are not playing
with that. I'm not talking about the business of the league with that. It's an embarrassing look. It is the worst thing you can do as a team. Hey, we're going to sit our best players in the fourth so we can lose the game, only to have our young stud player go and win the game. You are incompetent to the highest level doing that. That's why it matters, dude.
You got to take away draft picks from them.
Yeah.
You cannot allow them to do this. It is bad. It does not matter that they won. That his point is about you saying it doesn't matter. That they won the game makes it okay. It doesn't make it okay. It does not. And you've got to take draft picks from the Jazz.
Yeah.
You cannot. You just can't. Get rid of protected lottery picks. If you trade a pick, it's gone. I would agree with that. The reason they made a trade is that they are not getting Jaren Jackson Jr. level player any other way. No, because nobody will sign there. I agree with that. The real awkward guy. When have the Jazz not tanked? It's been a lot of tanking lately. Does tanking really help look at the last few years? No, it doesn't help. You are not guaranteed. This is not the NFL where the worst record gets the first pick. That's not how this is set up. There's a draft lottery. So, yeah, for certain, it does not. Tanking does assure you of nothing. And the Jazz are terrible at drafting anyway. So I don't even know, right? Yes, they should be punished. As a consumer, tickets to these professional sporting venues are not cheap and expect to see the best product available. Exactly. And the other thing I'll say, I hope the Sonics come back to Seattle. And they're talking about this summer that the NBA is going to expand to Las Vegas and Seattle. I would go to many, many NBA games if there was a team in Seattle. Happily, I would go. I will not pay to see a team like the Jazz because I want to see the best players at a high level. And if the Portland Trailblazers truly are going to be sold and moved to Seattle, which a lot of people think is going to happen, I'm here for it. Bring the NBA back to Seattle, and I will support it, just not when the Jazz are in town. Not willing to do it. I'm not willing to support an organization that treats people the way the Utah Jazz treats their fans. That's the thing that sticks in my craw. The Utah Jazz have this built-in fan base who will just support them no matter, dollar hot dogs? Yes, let's go see nobody guy who can't play anymore. And then our 3 best players won't play in the fourth quarter. But make sure you subscribe to SCG Plus. What sense does that make? Why would I support that?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
I would never support that. Ever. Now, I am an NBA free agent because Jerry Reinsdorf's not dead yet. And if the Sonics come back to Seattle next year, yeah, your boy's going to be there. I am going to be there. No doubt about it. The NBA in person is what life should be about. Now, am I going to give up Cubs season tickets for that? No. But will I go to 3 to 5 games a year? Yeah. Will I go to when the Lakers come to Seattle? Yeah. Yes. If Kevin Durant comes to Seattle, yes. No question about it.
Yeah.
No question about it. I think Seattle would be amazing for basketball again. The Sonics with Kemp and Payton back in the day, it was raining. It was, and Sean Kemp actually has a weed house here. He has like a dispensary.
Why don't you call BDM? He probably knows him.
Do not conjure that name. And if you're just tuning in, BDM sent me a screenshot of an airline ticket and told me he's coming to Seattle today.
Monty, where do you want to have lunch? Come on.
I'm not doing it. It's not happening. How about the, quote, process? You mean openly tanking without hiding? It's a freaking farce. It is. It is. It really, really is. Are you going to be back and take Wemby from San Antonio, Cooper from the Mavs? One player can change a dynasty. Yeah, a destiny. Absolutely. The Jazz have never been able to pick that right player or put themselves in a position to do so.
Oh, and they've had access to him as well.
All right. Let's switch gears. In the comments section, what kind of phone do you have? Jake, are you still an iPhone guy, or have you sold out on that too, you scumbag?
What do you mean? What else have I sold out on?
Everything.
I'm an iPhone guy. Yeah.
Everything. Scumbag. I'm an iPhone guy too. I believe that iPhone is a superior being, the supreme being.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I went down the rabbit hole of privacy settings on my phone last night. And I'll even go further back. Did you guys see the Ring doorbell commercial on the Super Bowl? And I've tweeted about this a bunch. I think Ring has 20 plus million devices around the country. And there's something called Search Party that allows people like the FTC, the DEA, ICE, law enforcement to access cloud accounts and look for people on your Ring account without you knowing. And the customers that paid for these cameras, they pay for the camera to have electricity. You pay, what is it, $5 a month to have a Ring account? And the company Ring, gets a surveillance grid. And they have access to all of your video. And they're using AI, and they are allowing federal agencies to access that video, allegedly. Do you have a problem with that, Jake?
I do. I mean, I think that I think anytime it doesn't matter the purpose. I think anytime you're invading someone's phone without them knowing, it's just wrong. You know, it's a breach of privacy. There's just no question about it. And I do think that in this internet age that we live in, there's a ton of this that we just don't even consider. I mean, your phone is a camera and a speaker, and it ingests everything, you know? And I think that, look, I just think we need to stop being surprised. Like, this is not a revelation. This is not somehow some kind of shocking development that the government has access to things we don't want them to have access to, or our phone is listening to us, or like that's how our life is now. And
but
look at this.
Look at this significant location thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, do you guys know about this setting on your iPhones? This significant location. It tracks your history of movement, and it logs and drops a pin on a map of every location you go to, and you spend 10 or more minutes there. And the reason, obviously, this is a problem is it can be used to track all of your movements. And if you get, say, arrested, like, and again, I don't have anything to necessarily hide. It's not like I'm a serial killer. The cops and law enforcement can access that map, and it will give them a complete and total story of your life. They don't ever even have to ask you. They don't even have to ask you, and it'll tell them, hey, this day he was here from this time to this time. Then he went here for this time to this time. Then, like, it maps out your entire life for you.
Mm-hmm.
Does that concern you?
I mean, not particularly, no, because I think that it's only a concern if law enforcement's digging through your life. So maybe don't break the law, and we don't have to worry about law enforcement looking at the map.
Oh, I think that's a very easy answer.
Well, what? Okay, what is the concern though? Then what are you worried about with it? Like,
because I think if you're a hacker, I don't want people, because iPhones now are getting more and more, clouds are getting more and more hacked. That is uncomfortable for me. The proximity advertising. If I'm at your house and you bought dog food, is the example that was given to me, and I'm on your Wi-Fi, it's going to serve me dog food ads. Like, why? Well, because it knows I'm on your Wi-Fi, and it knows your buying habits. Right? It's going to take my GPS locations, and if you have these settings on, I turn them off. And it's going to serve you ads based on your GPS location. Like, I went to Whole Foods, or I went to your mom's house, so it's going to serve me ads for condoms. Like, it is that that stuff bothers me. Knowing that when the A word is always listening to your stuff. We already have had scandals where the A word was listening and they were recording rando stuff that you were doing. I'm surprised you just don't care about this.
Well, it's not that I don't care necessarily, but I'm big on not. I don't want to spend mental energy on anything more than I need to. Like you know what I mean? Like, so if we need to turn some settings off, great. Let's turn some settings off and make it so that by case basis, people are more comfortable with what their phone can track and not track. I agree there needs to be more education on what your phone's capable of, because I don't think any of us, like the Notes app is the OG example of this, like everything the Notes app can do and people just had no idea. But like that's pervasive through iPhone and through technology. Like this is not unique to iPhone. iPhone is just a thing that's in our pocket all day.
Yes.
So it bleeds into our life. Like we're incredibly uneducated on a million different things and we're just totally unaware of that.
But it's this right here. If they want the information, they need a warrant. You can twist that information however they want to tell a story. They don't need a warrant. If you're arrested with your device, they don't have to have permission. It's why so many.
Wouldn't that be a probable cause situation?
Yeah. If you're arrested, they can look in your phone. If they have access to it, they can look in your phone.
Yeah.
And it's why so many people talk about the biometric thing. Like you need to turn your phone off. You need to turn off the biometrics. You should only, if you're really worried, this is going too far for me. I'm not turning my Face ID or my thumbprint off on things because I'm not that concerned about it. But if you're a dope dealer or if you're a criminal, you should not be using Face ID. Yeah. Because they can hold the phone up to your face and it'll open the phone for them. They literally, all they do, do people not know this? Law enforcement has software where they just plug your phone in and it pulls all of the data, your location data, your commonality data. They have
dumping your phone.
Yeah, they have a Nexus program that'll allow them to see who you're talking to. And the biggest mistake people make is when you get arrested or you think you're going to get arrested, you start deleting stuff off your phone. This is Butter Knives at Michigan deleting text messages with Connor Stallions.
Yeah.
You're never deleting anything. They know that you did that. Now you're getting charged with destroying evidence. You need to turn your phone into a brick. There's an actual setting where you can turn your phone into a brick and none of your privacy data is downloadable through the cloud or through a cable. That's what you need to be doing. I get the concern. I do. I think that privacy in our world is dwindling by the day. I mean, I just think that we've seen this repeatedly. And I think that luckily for me, I'm not a dope dealer. I'm not a criminal. I'm not someone that has law enforcement crawling up my butthole every 5 minutes. So to be honest with you, no, this isn't a big concern for me, but I understand the concern. Like, hey, if my iPhone's tracking my whereabouts constantly, how do you think it knows where your house is, right? Like, that's one of my favorite features of my iPhone, though. I love that my iPhone, when I moved, was like, hey, this is your new house. Great. I can just click home in my Apple Maps and go home. Like, it's a nice, convenient feature, but it also has downsides. I agree with that. And I think that it's about being responsible with it. Like, if you're uncomfortable with it being able to do that, then to your point, like, yeah, you can turn those settings off. But I have to be honest, I don't spend my day, or really until we've talked about this, it hadn't really crossed my mind. And it's not something that I was like, yeah, like it's got all my location settings. I turn some of the, I'm big on deleting apps off my phone and turning location settings off for the apps that I just never use or don't need, because it just sucks your battery up. So I do that, but it hadn't really crossed my mind, like, hey, like location and criminality and like possibilities that hadn't really crossed my mind. I have to be honest. Retailers use beacons to track you in the store, so they know what to market to you when you leave the store.
Yeah, that part of it, the ad thing bothers me. That does
even
bother
if your GPS is off, your Bluetooth pings the store sensors to track which aisles you're standing in and where in the aisle you are, so they know what you're looking at.
Yeah,
hate that. If you look at the apps that are asking you, and a lot of people talk about this, why does an app that has no need for your camera or microphone want your camera or microphone?
Yeah.
So they can listen to you.
Because it does actually have a need.
Yeah, so they can listen to you and market to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. And I just think it is like lockdown mode on your, if you don't know what lockdown mode is, you need to use lockdown mode. If you are afoul of the law, lockdown mode turns off all data flow to your mic and camera and ports. so no data can be added to or taken out of your phone.
Yeah.
Like that stuff is available to you. And all this is laziness, man. And I know I'm probably being paranoid.
I mean, I think that I'm not saying it's stupid, but we're not criminals. We don't like, there's two different conversations taking place here. Hey, if you're a criminal, what should you do if they dump your phone or want to dump your phone? Okay, that's one part of the conversation. Hey, I'm not a criminal. I've never broken the law in my life except for one speeding ticket when I was 19. And that's about it. I don't have to worry about the feds going
right,
through
but
my stuff.
why do I tell you not to talk to cops when you get pulled over?
Yeah, because you don't want to give them more opportunity.
Because they're always looking for some way to jam you up. And I think when like consent to searching your car, I think is one of the dumbest things you can do. Well, I don't have anything to hide. You have no idea what you have to hide. You don't know there's just no reason to do that. I just think that we have, and anymore, I know that the Constitution and our rights don't matter. It's not like anybody's protecting them. So we have to do it ourselves. And I think our right to privacy, I don't want Amazon. I don't want Google. I don't want Microsoft. I don't want the federal government knowing what I look at on my phone.
Wow.
It's none of your business.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I can appreciate that. I don't even disagree, but we're way past that. They already know. They've been knowing. They will continue to find a way. And this is why I always say, dude, like it's look, if you want simplicity in life, then it's totally possible to have a life where you don't have a smartphone. You can build a life where you just have a regular phone and you're not. Well, but see, that's my point though, dude. Yeah. That's my point. We're not willing to do that.
But again, I agree. I would never use lockdown mode. But admittedly, I don't share data with Apple, like my analytics and crash reports. No. I do the bare minimum. I don't, but I'm not willing to, like, the A word listening to me, do get my 21 times a month in. Hey, knock yourself out, sweetheart. Like, if that's what you're doing, fine. The Ring thing does bother me. But you need to know you're always being recorded when you're in public.
Yeah.
I think you need to understand that.
Yeah, 100%. But I also think that it's as I've always said, you know, the day that this show doesn't take place anymore is the day I won't have social media. I won't have social media. I won't have, like, the amount of stuff that I'll delete.
So you won't be doing cameos anymore?
Probably not. No, probably not. No, I have no interest in, honestly, I'm not even trying to be old curmudgeon. I don't have a need for it. Like, I would love to just live a life where it's like, yeah, you work and, you know, you do the things you're focused on and you golf and you enjoy your life. Like, we don't need that. It's a huge thing that I am big on. We don't need social media. It's not a need in our life. And in fact, I would go as far as to say it is detrimental to most people without us even realizing it. And it's caused this thing where this is what we do. We go on social media, we doom scroll for 20 minutes, then we shop for a while, then we look at other stuff. And then before you know it, your night's over and you're back starting your day over again. And I just think it's just not what life should be about.
Well, and it takes our relationships away.
Yeah.
It takes our intimacy away. It takes our one-on-one away. There's no question. I agree with that. So, and I am as guilty as anybody of that.
So for me, I just sit here and I say, you know, yeah, I'm probably not going back to a Nokia flip phone, but honestly, I would have my phone set up completely differently if I could delete social media and just kind of wipe all that out. My phone would be camera, obviously, you know, of course, you know, all the mainstay features. But yeah, I'd probably just have everything turned off and just have it be a basic ass phone. Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. And for me, you know, the video surveillance thing, like, this all changed for me when I lived in St. Louis. I lived in these lofts downtown, and a guy who had the penthouse in our building got shot and killed. And I was on the elevator with the people who committed that crime. Didn't even know it. You know how I found out? Because when the cops came to my door and said, hey, do you know anything about this? I was like, no. Did you talk to these guys? What guys? No. And they showed me the video of me riding up the elevator with those dudes. And you just realize how close you really are.
Yeah.
Right? And everything is recorded. I think that's the first time where I was terribly aware that everything is recorded. Right?
Yes.
If Jeremy Bolton, if the feds are listening and have my data, they won't care about me. Who cares? I am not a criminal. I do not do things that I think will put me in jail. Right? Like, again, I'm the guy who doesn't smoke weed and never has. My point is, at some point, I think we should be able to live a free life. We should be. I worry about my kids and their kids and their kids, because AI is only making this more impossible.
Yeah.
Don't commit crimes unless you're a genius. Well, I would stop at don't commit crimes. But I don't know how if you're hiding from somebody, how do you hide from somebody?
You don't. You disappear.
You don't. There's
listen, again, see, this brings me back to my point, dude. It's all about, this conversation serves a greater conversation. Look, if you're like, you're a good example of this. You live in Seattle. Like, you're on video everywhere, in your building, on the street, like, it's everywhere. And I'll be honest, I don't have a problem with streets being surveyed. I don't have an issue with any of that, because frankly, there's a lot of bad people in the world, and we need that to be able to hold them accountable. So I don't have any type of problem with that, dude. You want to record me walking my dog while my dog takes a dump on the street? Knock yourself out, dude. Don't care. It's not a problem. I think that it's a conversation about, if you want privacy, then you have to sacrifice certain accoutrements that living in certain areas of our country inherently have. So, like, if you want privacy, this is why people want to live out in the sticks, because they don't want to be recorded constantly. They don't want to have all this stuff up in their business. That's why you get people like that who do that, because they're tired of it. And I haven't gotten to that place yet. But I certainly can get down with, like, I at a certain point, I get tired of dealing with the world. There are days where I'm like, dude, like, I'm good. I'm not interested in hearing from anybody. I just want to do what I do, and I feel like that's something that's heavy right now.
Yeah. You can't even watch the Olympics without politics.
Yeah.
You can't wake up in the morning without. Yeah, I agree.
It's one of the YouTube TV problems, right? Because it's Google, YouTube TV. It drives me nuts. Like, I'm paying you to just watch TV. I don't need to see personalized ads and stuff. And it's part of why, like, honestly, like, when we were talking about DirecTV earlier, it kind of got me thinking, like, what does DirecTV have to offer right now? Because I don't see them, but, like, you can't tell me they're just out of business.
No, they offer full stream. They offer YouTube TV, just like YouTube TV. Yeah, exactly right, Sergeant Green. How do they not know where Nancy? I watch Chicago PD, man. Check Tools and Muds. Get the cameras?
Yeah.
Right? Like, are you telling? They know the vehicle she was taken in. Maybe they don't know where to find it, but I don't know. I wish social media wasn't a thing, but it is. And I think we have to deal with living in the real world. And we can wish and hope and dream, and it's not going to change our situation. But I just hope that you guys understand all of the privacy danger that's in your phone. And I hope you talk to your kids about it. Because with the proliferation of gambling and drugs and sex and the world, it's all in the palm of your kid's hand now in that phone.
Yeah.
And it's almost like your kid can't live without it. Push it off as long as you can. And I just think you have to go in and turn off those privacy settings just for your kids' sake, because it's phones, social media, and young people scare the hell out of me. Like that. I again, I have nothing to hide. If the A word's listening to me, great. I'm watching a lot of golf videos. I'm sitting around pretending I'm on a golf course swinging a golf shaft without a club head on it. Knock yourself out, Bezos, right? But, you know, as somebody born in 1973, this conversation's very scary. To me, it is, we just don't have anywhere to hide anymore.
Nope.
And maybe people know how to do that. I don't. But like, I agree. Where's Nancy Guthrie at? Right? You know, yeah. Thank God we grew up in the 80s and 90s. You know, it's more accurately anti-social media, and it takes us away from true society on purpose. It does. It does. Am I paranoid in my old age? Is that what this is?
Yeah, I mean, the ad thing, again, I think
these...
it's like 3 different conversations, bro. The ad thing is one thing. I'm with you on the ad thing completely. It drives me nuts. I hate it. It's annoying. It's you know, I hate it. I do. I despise it. But that's just one side of it. I mean, the location stuff, I'll be honest, it's not something that concerns me. I think it is annoying that every time you download an app, it's like, hey, I need permission to access like 800 different settings on your phone. That does annoy me. But I don't have like concern about it. I don't. I would if I would and will when I have kids, for sure. That'll be something that I pay attention to. But I just don't think that the risk currently is very high, honestly.
Okay. I'm just a crusty old man. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. All right. The Monty Show presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com 24/7, 365. The stupid StreamYard banner drives me crazy. 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. Clear, risk-free advice. You never reach into your pocket. You have nothing to lose. Literally nothing to lose. Get to theadvocates.com. Be safe today. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.